All I do is make fire, I'm a caveman. Never dropped the ball, got great hands. I was younger, it was get rich or die trying. Now I'm grown, still rolling with the same plans. Had other plans, I made two. Not one of them was struggle or just make do. Never satisfied and still the same dude. So when I made my first million, had to make two.
When I'm sliding on the beat, they like, who is that? Coin flipper, way that I be turning heads. Side stage, stomach turning, I'm a nervous wreck. Till I heard the fans and the kick, pull the curtain back. Hey, big wig, I don't need a hairpiece. Big dog, no leash, they know I'm a rare breed. Big shoes, can't feel them, this a rare feat. Big price, no sale, but I'm still carefree. Yeah, sweet 16s for the diabetics. Any era, I don't care, I'm the guy to get it. If it's 80-42, then I'm a violinist. Still the illest, go ahead, check the hieroglyphics. Yeah, said it's impossible, huh? It's impossible, huh? Oh man, you know if anyone can, I can.
Make fire, I'm a caveman. Never dropped the ball, got great hands. I was younger, it was get rich or die trying. Now I'm grown, still rolling with the same plans. Had other plans, I made two. Not one of them was struggle or just make do. Never satisfied and still the same dude. So when I made my first million, had to make two. Big hitter, baby, I'm in the 4th spot. Been in this position, ain't a shortstop. Every song gold, my catalog up at Fort Knox. Thinking they can get in on this, baby, of course not. They don't even know what it takes, it's a lethal dose. Make it look easy, think they got it, they ain't even close. Play Nintendo in Japan, baby, we remote. Paling in comparison, they looking like they seen a ghost. Yeah, counting it, but exactly how we plotted, there was not a twist. Saw exactly what we wanted, and we got it is. That's why we scratching off everything that's on the list. Listen, not a bit. Said it's impossible, huh? Oh man, you know if anyone can, I can. Make fire, I'm a caveman. Never dropped the ball, got great hands. I was younger, it was get rich or die trying. Now I'm grown, still rolling with the same plans. Had other plans, I made two. Not one of them was struggle or just make do. Never satisfied and still the same dude. So when I made my first million, had to make two.
Good to see y'all. Happy Thursday. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. What up, Clubhouse? What up, OGH? Only bands in the house. 3 Ants is here. All right. What up, Assam? How are you? What up, Captain? Ryder in the building. Assam Bulkin. That boy Bulkin. Holy. Yo, what up, Energy? What's good? What up, Vicky? What's up, Logan? How you feeling, man? How you feeling? What's up, Angel? Good to see you, bro. D-Dub in the house. Kasim in the building. What's good? What's good? What up, Ash? What up, YouTube? What up, Clubhouse? What's good, Q? How you feeling, bro? DJ Scratchers in the house. Welcome, welcome. What up, Wokey? Good to see you. Good to see ya. All right, welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome back to another New York session. I think we're just about ready to roll here. And let me lower the music a bit. But I hope you guys are doing well. Why don't we get into it? Let's pray real quick, and then we'll begin, all right? Let's do it. Father God, I thank you for this group, Lord. I thank you for the opportunity to be here in the New York session and just continue to show up and bless lives. I pray that whatever is being said today would fall on ears that can hear, and I pray that it would be wisdom that would push people further to the truth. So we thank you, and we just give you the glory for blessing this session. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Let's do it. Let's get it going. How you guys doing? Welcome in, welcome in. It is Thursday. It is the 30th of July. So yeah, almost the last day of the month. Yeah, I think it's tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's Friday. Last day of the month, last day of the week. So should be pretty good. We've had a good month so far, a little bit slower, but ultimately starting to turn up here in the second half of the month. So let's see if we can finish strong and get to work here and start the new month with some momentum. So today, again, is the 30th of July, and it's another day, another opportunity for us to be patient, to be disciplined, to not just talk the talk, right? And say, man, I can't wait for when this happens. But nah, it's time to make it happen. And the thing is, you can't just make it happen, right, in one day. It's days that get stacked and stacked and stacked that ultimately allow things to unfold and make things happen, right? So you got to trust your actions day by day. You just got to put one foot in front of the other. And today is a perfect opportunity to do that. So I would be grateful if I were you. I would turn that frown upside down and come in here with a positive attitude. Let's look for some good opportunities, and let's see if we can catch something here today. All right. In terms of news, we got some red folders coming in. Let me just grab my tool set over here. We got some red folders coming in here in about 5 minutes. So you'll have some 8:30 news red folders here. You'll have the PC price index. You'll also have the GDP, and then we've got some orange and yellow folder stuff pretty much all throughout our session today. So should be pretty interesting. We should have a pretty volatile session for the most part. And why don't we get into fresh top-down analysis? Let's do it. Talk to me about my music. Let me know how the music's doing. And Philippe is here. Now, Holmes, we got to give this guy a name now. He needs a name. He needs a name. But let me know about the music. And I think if the music is good, then we're good. Yeah? Okay, cool. All right. Boom. Perfect. Bam. Okay, cool. All right, let's talk about it here. This is gold. We'll work our way down from the daily time frame, and it's the 4 hours, so let me go to the daily, and we'll see what we can come up with here today. So yesterday, it looks like we did end up closing bullish here. So we got a bullish closure on yesterday's candle, which was this one right here, ultimately creating a support at this point, right? So we created support yesterday on the daily. We broke the highs, we broke the lows, and yeah, now we're just kind of plant that support here. So this candle currently does have a pretty good bottom wick. So at this point now, I think we can start potentially looking for buys throughout the session, depending on how the 4 hour candle looks. The daily itself looks like it's ready to go. You know, price popped up here in Asian last night, and we were looking for some shorts, right, to come down and break the daily low, but we came right around there and ultimately just pushed back up, right? But look what happened after Asian, I guess, into pre-London last night, was the big move down, and then that created that daily bottom wick. So now that we have a daily bottom wick, right, this candle can probably get going. So let's see if the 4 hour agrees with us on that idea right there, and see if we can look for longs here today. So the 4 hour also does have a, I feel like the music is too loud. Are you guys sure it's good? I'm gonna hold your word for it. I'm gonna hold your word for it. Yeah, I lowered it a little bit. I lowered it. Okay, so anyways, the 4 hour candle is bullish, right? So that does confirm what we're looking for. The only issue now is we don't have much of a lower wick, right? So we don't have much of a lower wick here on the 4 hour candle, and actually no lower wick at all. So we'll see what happens when it comes to a price maybe tapping into that resistance here and coming back down for that 4 hour lower wick here. So let's take a look at the 1 hour. 1 hour is trying to move down. Looks like we grabbed the lows, but we're starting to push back up here. So you got some wick rejections, some resistance here on the 1 hour chart. I think this is also our 4 hour resistance as well. So we'll have to see what we do. We got one tap, two tap. This will be the third tap here, so we'll see if we end up pushing through with NY open here in the news, or if we're going to come back down, break the low, and then continue moving bearish here to create that 4 hour bottom wick. So it looks like the 15 minute is just in a nasty range at the moment. I think this is pretty much what I've got here. So any sort of closures back above that push through the 4 hour highs here, I think we could start looking for buys, but anything below is kind of where I'm looking for the sells. You see, it's interesting, right? Because the daily has a bottom wick and it's ready to go, or at least it looks that way, right? But then again, the 4 hour is tapping into resistance with no bottom wick. So very, very conflicting when it comes to the daily and the 4 hour chart at the moment. So I personally like the sells. I think probability is leaning a little bit more that way. We'll see how the news comes out, but you know, your daily is bullish, yes, but your 4 hour, right, to kind of guide this session is running straight into that resistance, and it's also got no bottom wick. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm definitely a little bit more leaning towards the idea of price coming back down a little here and creating that 4 hour low. But who knows, right? We'll have to follow structure here and see where price leads us. But ultimately, I do like the sells below, and we did not get it. So once we do get, or if we do get a closure below, then we can look to participate in the sells. This is going to be your news, right? Your red folder news. So this candle should get pretty volatile for the most part. So let's let this candle do its thing. Let 15 minutes go by, let the candle close, and then we'll see where price is at from there. Okay, cool. We're in the heart of it, baby. We're right dead in the smack of the news here. So let's let this market absorb this news. We might be grabbing liquidity. So again, I do like the sells. I'm also open for the buys here today. It just depends on these lower time frames and where they want to go. So that is my analysis here for gold. Sells below 35 here, and then buys. Yeah, buys. Yeah, I don't even really like the buys too much in this area, to be honest. So maybe if we can move down, right, and fill the range, we look for buys a little bit later, around like 41.20. So maybe we get the push down here, clean range to the clean range gets formed up, and then maybe the buys later. But I'd much rather take the sells, being that 4-hour candle is at resistance, and kind of get something like this under our belt here today. All right, and then if the buys want to play out later, you know, maybe you have that opportunity for the longs a little bit later to go back up. But I like the sells here. We'll see what happens. Sellies, lightning strikes. We got lightning strikes. There. All right, well, we'll see what happens. There's the liquidity on both ends, so just be careful with this candle here, and we'll see where it closes. Executed on the 15-minute. Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, it was a little while ago, right? Especially if you had the idea that we have here, which the 4-hour tapping into resistance. You know, 1 hour didn't close the best there, but ultimately, I'm not sure where you got in. You said 745 celery play. Yeah, I think that was pretty good. Yeah, as long as your stops were above the highs here. That looked pretty good. Maybe partials around this level, somewhere around these wicks. Yeah. Nice. All right, let's do it. Lower the music. Yeah, I pretty much lowered it. Yep. Yeah, happened a while ago. Yeah, right here. I think it's right here, right? Either one of these candles. So yeah, as long as your stops were, I guess if I would have took that, I probably would have had something like this going on. And then yeah, TP down here, and then I probably would have looked for partials right around these wicks. So maybe like right here. Yeah, you also see the wicks to the left. So yeah, price is tapping into that area as we speak. So it looks like we rejected there anyway earlier. So yeah, we'll see. This candle might close bullish. You know, it might close in the range. Who knows? It might close down here. It might close up here, right? We just don't know. It might just close right back in the zone. So let's let the market absorb all this news, and then we go from there. We got all green numbers here. So yeah, that should push gold. Oh, I'm sorry. We got red numbers here. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe price grabbing liquidity to the downside too. Bump, bump, bump. All right. Would I say price action weighs more than fundamentals? For me, it does. It just depends on the level of skill you have. I think your skill outweighs it all. So if you have more like knowledge and skill basing movement off fundamentals, then that's going to be your edge. If it's more so price action, then that'll be your edge. So yeah, I don't think one weighs more than the other. I think which skill do you acquire more of, and that's the one that you can use. So I know very little about news, and I don't pay attention to too much fundamental stuff. I just run off price action. But then the news tends to move the price action and whatnot. So they kind of tie together. But then there's other people who they don't really know price action that well. They just bank off of news, right, and fundamentals to push the market in certain directions. So it's just whatever you're skilled up in, kind of weighs more. Ooh. Yeah, I personally like technicals over fundamentals, but who am I? All right, let's look at NASDAQ here real quick, and let's see if we can come up with oh my goodness, guys, holy smokes. Wow. Come on, Nick Stewart. You gotta do better than that. You gotta do better than that. All right, that was from Asian session last night. My goodness. All right. Anyways, okay. Yeah. Come on. Get it together, mister. Get it together. All right, let's talk about here. So we've been moving down for a while now on NQ, right? So the big move down here, as you can see, you had all this clean range to the downside, little minor levels of support, but ultimately price was able to push through pretty nicely there, right? So you did kind of fill that range. You're kind of coming into this overall zone now. This is pretty much where, you know, below there you have much more clean traffic. So this might be where this move begins to stall out from and begin to start to call for a pullback, right? So daily's been moving up. We didn't even make a bottom wick, so a lot of bullish momentum in this candle. 4 hour juicing at the moment. Looks like you probably want to fill that wick there on the 4 hour chart. Let's take a look at the 1 hour just running here. So 1 hour just running up. You got a closure, but a little overextended in my opinion. 30-minute running out of steam, 15-minute just chopping. I think we need a pullback here on NQ. So it looks like the 15 can go, but I think the 30 and the 1 hour could use something like this before really blasting off today. So I think we wait for a retest on, or at least a pullback on the 30-minute, not just bank off the 15, because the 1 hour and 30 just seem like they're slowing down big time at the moment. So I'm not going to bank anything off this 15-minute. Plus, I'd rather wait for the new hour to look for trades on NQ. So I think something like this works. You know, a nice pullback, we get support, and then we start moving ourselves back up from there. Cool. So we'll see. We'll see. Too overextended for me at the moment, though, on the 30-minute and on the 1 hour. So, yeah, let's hang tight. Let's wait for a little pullback. Ideally, one nice bearish candle on the 30-minute will do here for me. So we'll see what happens. Holy! Oh my God! I can't believe that. Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy. What up, Pablo? What's good? Living life on the edge, bro. Oh, snap. Yo, imagine I got hit, no drawdown, nothing, just straight to the TP. All right, I'm very excited for a closure here on gold. So we'll see what happens. Let's wait our turn here, but 15 is going to close in about 7-8 minutes. We'll see about a potential opportunity from there, and if not that, then we wait on this 30-minute closure. Pablo, where are you at, man? Going back to DR next week? Nice, nice. What up, Green? What's good? What's good? My live trading schedule is I tend to trade Asian and New York session. In the clubhouse, we also trade London as well. So we got 3 sessions every day that go on inside the clubhouse. If you guys want, you can screenshot this right here. If I still have it. Yes, I do have it. Yeah, this is our streaming schedule. So if you guys want to tune in with us outside of the New York session, then we do Asian, we do London, we do webinars every single weekend, and we have a full course. We have a full database with hours upon hours upon hours of content in there. So I just added some new stuff as well. Definitely go check it out. I want to keep a lot of the videos short and sweet and straight to the point. I know almost every educator that I ever learned from when it came to trading was just the videos are so dragged out, you know what I mean? I just want to keep it tight, you know what I'm saying? Just give you the lesson and let you, think about it for a little bit. So yeah, we added a bunch of new trading psychology videos to the course at the moment, and we're also going to be adding about I think there's 15 total. So I think we've already added 9 to the database, so we got 6 more to go, and then I've got a whole series, kind of like a mini series, I guess we can call them, and That's going to be on finances. Money. Yeah, you know. Money. Everyone knows about money. Yeah. That's what we'll be talking about in the next one. So I'm looking forward to continuing to do these. I think it's going to be a pretty cool add-on. I've been putting a lot of attention on the live streams, but I want to really make this a place where traders can come in and study and do the work. But here are some of the videos that we just came out with. The learning phase versus the earning phase, the identity of a professional trader, emotional recovery after a loss, why you keep breaking your plan, the psychology of waiting, becoming process focused instead of profits focused, the cost of hesitation, detaching your self-worth from basically your trades, and winning can be more dangerous than losing at times. So I hope you guys take a look at these. I got another one coming up, and there's about 6 more on the way, and then we'll start the money talk, which I do like to talk about money. Did I take a sell? Did I learn from Al Brooks? No, I didn't. I'm not sure who that is, but it sounds like a great guy. Brooks. Short and sweet. Short and sweet. Yep, I'll try and keep the videos. I really try and keep them under like 5 minutes. That way, you don't have to sit there forever. Asian, yeah, I took some sells in Asian last night. They were right here, so you had a closure below. So we were really looking for buys. We wanted sells the whole night, right? So the idea was, can we come down to make a daily low? So that was the bias in the Asian session, right? And basically the daily and the 4-hour both had very little to no bottom wick. It's actually right here, if you guys can see that wick right there. So this candle was rejecting. We tried to get the sells from up top, but the candle closed with no top wick, or I'm sorry, no bottom wick. Where was that? The first time, yeah. So the first trade kind of was like this guy right here. So you had I think it was a 30 or a 1 hour. Yeah, so you see the 30-minute candle. So my bias last night in Asian was you had a daily closure, right? That looks something like this. And then you had a current daily candle that look like this, all right, something like this. So my thought process was, all right, we can probably get a steeper lower wick here on this daily and on that 4-hour candle. So wanted to get a chance to get involved in the sells. Now that was right here. So we're trying to call like a little bit of a top up here, right? And then get this move down. But price close with no bottom wick. So unfortunately, had to let that one go. That was a 1 hour and a 30-minute candle. So as we started coming down a bit, right? We started looking for the idea to potentially take a buy. And maybe take a buy because maybe the daily and the 4-hour didn't want to create much of a lower wick, right? It's kind of going to keep going up there. So kept the bias open for the buys as well. Now, when this long right here showed up, this one right there, I was interested in buys, but at the time, the daily was even rejecting even more, right? So the daily kind of and the 4-hour looked like this at the moment. So you had a big rejection, right, which was this move right here, boom to boom. So that big rejection happens, which ultimately creates this wick right here. So even though I liked the buys, I let them go because I didn't want to buy when the daily and the 4-hour had a big rejection like that with no bottom wick. So I kind of talked myself out of it and really wanted to wait for the selling opportunity, right? Now this candle juiced right back up. So unfortunately the buys did work out, right? And they worked out really quick. Like within 5 minutes, we broke the highs again. So that's okay. That wasn't really my trade. That wasn't the one I was looking for. If I was going to take anything, I wanted to see the pack over here, like the pack runner get grabbed up, the lows here, like this. So boom, something like that. So that way we actually could have broke this 4-hour and daily low. And then I would have had a buy stop on the break of the high for something like that. All right, so what do we do here? Closing the range. All right, so nothing to do on the 15, guys. So trying to walk you through my thought process here in Asian last night, because it's all about thinking. Like, how does the pro think, right? What's their thought process? What are they doing? It's really not just technicals in this game. So you get a nice rejection here, right? So this candle ends up moving up and coming back down, and you know, ultimately didn't really like the buys moving forward. So was hoping that we could have even got something like this, where you had a candle break the highs and then start closing below. That's really the move that I wanted, which would have been this daily candle breaking the lows and heading down. So that never happened. A little while later now, you get your 4-hour candle, right, to start breaking the low. So you see this candle here? So we had a new 4-hour candle. This one we jumped off. Like, we got off of our Asian session at 10, and this 4-hour candle opened up, and it started moving lower, 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 and then eventually it came down and broke the low again. So exactly what I wanted to see on this daily candle, right? So now your candles actually rejecting. Your 4-hour and daily are both coming down here now, breaking the low. So this is how quick the bias can switch, right? It went from trying to buy off of, you know, the new 4-hour candle making a low, to now that 4-hour candle is breaking its own low and starting to head down to the previous low. So once we start breaking that previous low, which is right here, I'll bring it to the 1 hour right here, I'll bring it to the 30-minute right there, and then the 15-minute right here. So this is where I decided to get involved. As we broke the low, we also closed below, right? So we got this candle, and literally 5-6 minutes before this, I was trying to see if I can snag a buy, right? Like for 10-15 minutes, whatever. So this candle closes below the range. Let me make it a little better for you. We closed below the range here. I never executed off of this following candle. I wanted to see if we were going to break that daily low and then pop back up. Like I said, like I was literally also open for the buys right here off of this candle. If it would have closed back above, then that would have been the daily breaking the low, the 4-hour doing a little bit of a, let me just draw it here, like a pack runner, right? And then pushing back up. So literally this candle right here was the deciding factor on whether or not price was going to go up or down at the moment. So I paid attention to that candle. We never closed above. If you look, we ended up actually closing below. Kind of had this celery play, and this is where I seen clean traffic to the left, right? Daily 4-hour breaking lows. I'm going to keep a very tight stop. My stops were not up here. They were right above here, right around the range, and then ultimately just entered on the break of the lows and have price come down. I closed partials right here at these wicks, and that was it. Yeah, it doesn't look like we moved much after that until that pullback came, and then we moved back down. So my bad about all these arrows. Holy smokes. So yeah, so that was pretty much it. Kept it pretty tight for the most part. Looked like entry here, stops right here, and then TP down there with partials right here. It was like 4, I think it was 11, 10. I think it was 10 or 11. So yeah, that was pretty much it. Yeah, I seen a few of you guys took it, and it was quick. You know, it happened real quick. It was first we were looking for buys, and all of a sudden, real quick like that. You know what I mean? We flipped the switch, and once those daily lows and 4-hour lows started getting taken out, and that celery play was there. You know, it was you didn't have to take this trade. It was definitely a little more aggressive, but yeah, ultimately works out. Clean range to the left. By the way, the 1 hour. Let me show you the 1 hour. So the 1 hour here was just perfection. I didn't enter based off the 1 hour, but look at that. So if I get rid of everything over here, boom, right there you have that 1 hour, right? That looks, boom, nice closure below, clean range to the left. What would we anticipate here all the time, right? We would anticipate a top wick, right? And then a move down to fill the range. So if that's what we're always looking for, right, then we have to execute here. Now, again, I didn't enter off of the 1 hour. I entered a little lower, but yeah, ultimately that was the move. Yeah, it was clean. Clean. And now we're back up here. So now we're back in that range here that we left. So we'll see what happens. But look at this, 1 hour trying to get down. Price is working. It's working. We got 10 minutes left here, so we'll see what we do on this closure. There we go. All right, 30-minute closures it is. Anyone have questions on that trade? That happened about an hour, maybe an hour after we shut down the Asian session. Yeah. Does it matter if the candle closes red? In that case, I did like that it closed red, but it doesn't necessarily have to. But just make sure that if it isn't, then you at least have like a smaller wick, right? Not something like, so if it's gonna close bullish, it should look something like this. If it looks like this, it's a little too, I'd wait on at that point. So even though it's below the range, if it looks like that, I would wait for another closure, right? To kind of come in and close like that, just to kind of give you a nice candle on your side. But yeah, it doesn't really matter if it's bullish or bearish. What matters most is like the anatomy of that candle, making sure you got a rejection wick to the top side and then a smaller wick on the bottom. Yeah, it was clean. It was clean. Yep, that was one. That was a tough one for me to kind of go in the Discord too and just discombobulate everyone's brain, right? And be like, oh no, let's switch it around now. And yeah, so I just whoever noticed it. You know, we talked about it in real time in the Discord, but it's very tough to switch a bias on new people, especially when we're not live and it's through, you know, just typing and stuff. So. Yeah. The reason for the tight stop there was just simply because I wanted it right then and there. So I didn't. Anytime you have a celery play, usually you're not going to get the steepest top wick anyway. So I didn't want to lose a lot. That's mainly it, right? I wanted to be right or be wrong very quickly on that trade. I wasn't trying to sit around in that all night, have it consolidate just to, you know, come up and break the highs and tap me out. I either wanted to be wrong at like 20, I think my stop was like 23, or just be right and be right or wrong quickly. And it did happen actually pretty quick too. But little overextended, but the 1 hour really helped out with that, you know, having that nice closure. I mean, how many times do we draw that setup right there where you get, you know, a support formed, closure below, and then the move down. All right, we'll see if price can hold up for us. We'll see. NQ, what are we looking for on the NASDAQ today? Yeah, we're looking for a little pullback. I don't know if we're going to get it, but I'm trying to find a pullback. Yeah, I like the buys. I love the clean range, but need some structure out of this. So maybe, maybe, you know, some sort of a bearish candle, right? And then kind of pop back up and get going from there. Yeah, how'd you guys do? Did you guys take anything in Asian or London? Oh, Goldie, hang tight for us. Yeah, I really like these sells. Really like the sells today. 4 hour coming. Coming for that low. If the current 4 hour is bullish and all that, yeah, closing that support, you kind of have a mixed bias. So you're open for both buys and sells. You're relying on the lower time frame at that point to kind of point you in the right direction. So, you know, just because price is at a support doesn't mean it has to stop there, right? I mean, look at this example right here. Price at support keeps going, right? Price at support keeps going. So it doesn't have to stop, right? It's just it could stop there. So you still want to be open for both buys and sells. You know what I mean? So you really just go down to the lower time frame, like the 30-minute or the 15, 1 hour, and just start to see what is that looking like, and then let that point you in the right direction. If you're unsure and the higher time frame bias is unclear, then like we talked about in the webinar this past weekend, that's probably an opportunity for you to size down, right? Just a little bit, being that you don't have all your boxes checked, you don't have clear direction on the 4 hour. No one ever says you have to go standard or you have to go high risk. No one said you actually even have to take a trade, right? So you got to look at, assess the environment, assess the conditions, the setup, and then, you know, use those lower time frames to look for the opportunity to break a 4 hour low or high based off of maybe some consolidation that's happening right on the lower time frame, where you can get a hint as to where that 4 hour might go. But you still want to, there is no one set bias for me ever. I'm open no matter what higher time frame candles look like. I'm always open for both directions. So sometimes I just need like a range 2 or a break and retest, but I'm always, you know, I'm never really married to one bias unless, let's say, like a daily candle had a breakout and, you know, the next one is moving up without much of a low. That's when I'll tend to try and, you know, snag that bottom wick or wait for that bottom wick to be in there before taking buys. London looking better. Looking better. London better heat up. London. All right, we're going to get a 1 hour closure here in just a moment. 4 hour is coming back down. I would anticipate that we would make a lower wick here. So hopefully we can get some clean price action for some selling opportunities. And, you know, maybe we can get this 4 hour candle to start, you know, rejecting and driving down like this for us. I think it can happen, but we'll see. Three minutes. 3 minutes. Two minutes. 2 minutes. Yeah, I think this was pretty much our liquidity up here for the most part. So we'll see. We'll see, man. Anything can happen here in 2 minutes. The buys yesterday, yeah, actually they did. Yeah, anyone take the buys after the stream? It was a pretty clean move. I know some people in the clubhouse took them, but yeah, down here worked out well. We left each other in that range, you know, and we were looking for buys towards the end of the session there, and you had this candle close out, and then boom, you know, we just kept pushing up, and then even FOMC came out and just ripped. So yeah, the longs were in play. They definitely were. If you caught them, congratulations. Oh man, today's Thursday. Aha. I'll have to tell Nick Stewart. I'll have to have a conversation with Nick Stewart later about that. Tell him start stepping it up, man. You're messing up the titles, messing up the dates. What's going on with you? I'll have a word with Nick later. I was just, you know, maybe he was just testing you guys. Man said it's Wednesday. That's crazy. That's crazy. Let me change that. Appreciate you letting me know. Hey guys, I will be a guest speaker at the Futures Bootcamp, man, in May of next year. So, man, I hope to see some of you guys out there. I know like 5 or 6 people from the team have already bought tickets. Tickets are on sale now. You could also get the VIP stuff and come to the dinners and all that. And anyone from our community, we're going to do a whole separate spend some time together, you know, break out of the whole bootcamp thing and just get probably like a mansion and hang out and chill. So for anyone that wants to come, let us know if you're gonna come and purchase a ticket, and yeah, we'll have a good time in May of next year. It should be awesome. Be down here in Tampa. I don't know if I'll be living in Tampa at that time, but it'll be fun to come back. I'm using TradingView. It seems like your platform is easier to use. You know, TradingView is pretty good too, but yeah, I think the best interface is the one that with Project X and all that. All right, Well, we'll see what happens here. We got a brand new hour candle. We got plenty of room to go down. We need a top wick though, so let this candle open up and hopefully it kind of runs us back up a little, and then we can get involved in some sells. If not, we could always wait for just some structure on the 15-minute and you know, try and plan something around like 9:15. So if we can get maybe even get like a pullback like this, right, and then a resistance form, now we know, okay, we got a 1 hour top wick. And we also got 15-minute structure, and then we can sell back down into it from there. Low. MetaTrader 5 doesn't have the MGC. I don't. Will MetaTrader ever have that? I think MetaTrader uses like XAU USD. No. Could be wrong. Yo, what up, soldier? That's good. If you don't do the 8 to 5, it's hard to know what day it is. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, sometimes you lose track. I don't know why. Yesterday I thought it was Friday. Today I thought it was Wednesday. I don't know, man. It's all over the place. Have I ever met Raja in person? No, never met in person. Just been on a couple, like a handful of calls together. We go back and forth with in WhatsApp and all that stuff too. So from time to time. Yes, I always wait for a wick to push up in the opposite direction. Yes, always. It's one of my rules that I don't like ever go without. Like, so even like when we had a sell stop here last night, and there was like a couple minutes left on the candle, so we decided to delete it and add it back when this candle closed, and then that candle closed with no bottom wick, and we literally let that whole I just let the whole move go. Yeah, so that's one of the things I really don't like to. And look, and I was telling my wife Anna, I'm like, it's not that price won't go down. It's just that I won't go down with price, you know? So there's no right or wrong strategy. There's just make money or don't make money. You know, that's really all it is. It's either what you use makes you money or it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? So like that, it's not to say like if you take sells, because I know that there was traders that they look at that candle and it's bearish and it's clean and they're going down with that candle, and that's fine, right? As long as and a lot of times they're tying something else in with that, like a moving average or some type of indicator or something, which I don't use those, right? So I'm relying on candles, sticks, and ranges. So it's not that if I don't take this move, it's a dumb move, right? There's no dumb move, right? It's just that according to my system, I'm not comfortable taking anything like if a candle doesn't have a bottom wick, or like this one here doesn't have a top wick. So it's not that it's wrong, it's just wrong for me, right? It's like it can still play out perfectly fine, and that's, you know, that's fine. It's just I don't participate. So there is no right or wrong. There's either it makes money or it doesn't. You know, as long as you're making money, then you follow your rules and, you know, whatnot. And if this isn't against your rule and your rules make you money, then you take that trade, right? I stay out of them because I've just seen too many times price go in the opposite direction. Hence, that could also be because I've always kept current and previous candle stops, meaning like, let's say, you know, if I was going to have a stop loss and let's say this candle closed with no bottom wick, right? I was going to get in anyway. But a lot of times I notice that it pops up, you know? So maybe if I use structure or something, it wouldn't affect me like that. Like maybe some other traders use structure and all that. All right. So I'm trying to see if we can get some motion here, some just structure on the 15. I don't know if we're gonna. We got some support here too. So 1 hour looks so good. 1 hour looks so good. 4 hour looks so good. Let's take a look at the stops here. About 138 pips. Yeah, we might as well wait. I would, being that we're right at this structure point here, right? We might as well wait. If we can get some bullish candle first, I think that'll be best, and that'll kind of set up and prepare the 1 hour candle to move down. Yeah, just because this right here, smack right in the middle. But this could still move down. I really like this off the 1 hour. Maybe even low risk, right? If you guys want to try it. But keep in mind, you just got a little bit, so we might just reject there. Not that we got to stop here, but just get a little rejection first. And then maybe we let the 15 close and then have a sell stop on the break of the 1 hour low, you know, after on the second 15-minute candle at 9:15. Hey, yo, Simsy. But I do like this. I really like this on the 1 hour here. XAU USD. Met Raja in the elevator. Nice. Little elevator convo. Yes, for new traders, that Asian sesh was definitely too aggressive. Like, and that's why I didn't want to spin people's heads in the Discord chat, because we were bullish, looking for a bottom wick to go up, and then all of a sudden we break lows. We're a little overextended. But remember, one of the key factors to taking an overextended move is that the daily and the 4 hour higher low should be breaking. You know what I'm saying? So that was also happening. So again, there's definitely discretion, right, that goes into trading, and sometimes you have to be okay with flipping your idea around, right? Because it's like, all right, we're bullish until we break that low, right? But once we break the low, we're not so bullish anymore, right? And we can start looking for the buying opportunities. So yeah, that was definitely a little bit more aggressive for a newer trader, and ultimately needed, you know, a little bit of experience to execute confidently on that. But look at this, moving back up here. So yeah, a 115 closure. Even if we can get that closure up here, and then we get the resistance, and that'll lead us straight into 930 where we can take sells. A lot of people took the sells already. You know, a lot of people got in too. So sometimes on the front end of the hour candle, it wants to grab up some orders and all that good stuff. Yo, what up, boys? I just having a look at Zoom now. I don't know if that's Gareth or John or Gareth. Are you guys twins? What's going? These are
yo, what's good?
The 8-figure trader twins right here. Let's go.
Let's get it with the Twin Towers. That's good.
That's good.
We'll be running up 20K trades together, bro.
Wow, let's go.
Yes, sir. Let's freaking do it, bro. We're on the way to 8 figs, no doubt. Twin Towers.
For sure.
Is
Let's
it
get
me
it.
or
What's up?
I can't tell which one's John and which one's Gareth at the moment.
Oh, bro.
Yo,
It's
nah,
Gareth
seriously, is this
McMillan,
another
bro.
glitch? There might be another glitch. There was a glitch in the Matrix last night in Asian. There was no doubt about it. John asked Gareth what he had for breakfast, and then a half hour later, he just goes, "So, how was the breakfast?" Like, what?
Yeah, I think there was a glitch.
We had a whole 30-minute conversation about guns, and then John just comes back in. Hey, yo, how was your breakfast, bro?
I don't know, man. Asian
Yeah,
smoke
bro.
is everywhere.
Well, yeah, I was busy yesterday, busy last night, so I had AI John pull up on y'all.
Oh, okay.
Sorry if it got a little out of control.
Oh, snap.
It was my first time trying him out. How'd he do? Do good? I don't know. Doesn't
Yeah, he
seem
was
like
all
it.
right. He was all right. We'll work
All
with
right.
him.
Good, bro.
We can
Sorry
work
about that. But I'm here. I'm here ready to be patient this one today. Let's do it. What's up, chat?
8-figure clones. Oh, snap. Hey, give me
How
one
we do
second.
it?
I'll be right back, right?
Alrighty.
Right there, bro.
Sir. Yeah, so I hope everyone's feeling great. Gareth, how was London sesh?
It was okay. We had some good ideas, and we had the overall. So we had a couple good ideas and some good moves that played out, but we just didn't get the confirmation candles we were looking for. So like
Nice.
we were looking. So if you look in London, we were looking at like an inverted celery, and then the candle just drove without a bottom wick. I mean, without a top wick, and went exactly where we were planning. But yeah, it's
Nice. Well,
just one of those sessions, kind of like London's been
Yep.
all year, really.
yeah. Well, good session. I mean, followed the rules, and that's all that matters, right? So no trades there.
Sure.
Nice. Good discipline.
Yeah.
That's how trading is, right, chat? Like, it's the edge is either there or it's not, and if the edge isn't there, then we just don't take a trade. If the edge is there, then we take a trade. If it's not, then no trade, right? I think that's like the simple, the simpleness of the trader's job, really. At least how you can make it so simple, at least, right? But it does come down to really understanding and knowing your edge. Once you understand and know your edge, you'll know when and not to trade. So
Yeah,
that's the big key. That's why the number one thing, right? The number one thing, like in the start, should be to learn the edge, right? Like Gareth, you would 100% say that, right? Like you got to learn the edge before you can earn on the edge. So it's like, that's what we got to do.
And it's like people will message and type in the chat like, what was the turning point? But there is no turning point. It's just it's a gradual slope of progressing your ability to spot setups, progressing your ability to be able to read the market. Like half the time nowadays when I jump on the charts, like you kind of know, but while you're doing the breakdown, if you're going to get a trade or not in the session based on how those 4-hour and daily timeframes are looking. Some sessions are just going to set up for the next session to have a better trade. Like sometimes you just need to wait for an extra 4-hour closure. So yeah, it's like
that's how it is, man. For real, that's the process. That's what it's about too. Nice, steady, slow progress. That's the way to do it. 1% better a day is better than 0% better.
Yeah, I think your mic's a bit loud, John.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't tell because my ears were so damaged from last night when John came on.
Damn, bro.
That I actually can't even hear that good anymore.
Damn, bro.
I don't think he's too loud. But
no, that's just he's not too loud. Last night he came in like a wrecking ball. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Bro, I don't got the microphone. I got the megaphone, bro.
My guy jumped on the megaphone talking about, hey, guys, my only plan today is to be patient and disciplined in my plan.
Nah, bro, I was about to perform the song, My Love and My Touch.
Oh, snap. He had them big speakers.
Yeah, man. That's funny, man. Yeah.
Them speakers. The turning point. The turning point. We could hear. Yeah, if John was on mute, you might be able to hear him better.
All right, let me go on mute.
What are you? Is it the headset? I think it might be the headset.
Maybe. I don't know. To be honest.
All good. All good.
Yeah. But I like the sells here today, man. Looking good for that 4-hour to make a bottom wick.
Same.
I like that a lot.
I know for a fact that there's sellers in this opportunity right now, and basically price is trying to stop them out. It's trying to get them to close their positions or hit their stop loss or get them emotional in that drawdown. And then I think 9:15 or 9:30 could set us up here.
It's kind of funny how predictable like these sort of closures are. Like I feel like a lot of people are targeting those 4-hour lows because you see this sort of stuff happen all the time in terms of like an overextended closure and nip of the lows and then continuing bullish. Like even because a lot of people are probably anticipating those lower wicks.
Yep. I agree. Happens all the time. Got the Dumbo ears. If you got good hearing, I feel bad for you, son. All right, we'll see what we do here, but I also would not mind getting a resistance right up here and kind of having a nice rejection and then selling back down into the wick fill and then closing partials there, and then having a runner for that 1 hour potentially, right, to keep moving down. So
Clean.
I cooked if I took the short at 65. You must be using a different shorts at 65. You might be using a different contract than I'm using. I don't see that. Hey, yo, Roberto. How you feeling, man? How you feeling? Hey, by the way, guys, we made some dope, and I mean dope, improvements and added some features to TradeSet. So if you guys haven't looked at TradeSet yet, go to tradeset.app, check out the journal software. It's one that we've worked on for a while now. It's kind of a mix of technicals / emotionals, and really giving the trader the opportunity to collect that data and be able to trade off the data. So check it out. We just added like 3 new features, all at your own request. So we're trying to make the journal the best we can for, you know, the everyday trader. Oh, XAU USD is at 65. Okay, my bad. I'm not sure where that is though on here, so you're gonna have to maybe tell me. Maybe what time? Tell me what time you took the trade. What up, Jose? What's good?
Good morning, Magnus. How you doing, brother?
One of the hoodies coming. Actually, this is one of the TT hoodies here. Yeah, we got the merch getting, we're just finishing up a couple designs. We had to make sure that everything we had fit well and felt good, and, you know, it was a good material, and, you know, has some cotton on there, and yeah, so it's good to go. Now we got designs in motion, and then we're gonna put them on the website. How's my month looking? Pretty good. Slower, but ultimately pretty solid for the most part. Had a couple losses. Lost here, lost on Wednesday last week. Lost on Monday. So yeah,
Not
a
too
couple
many
more
no
losses
trade
I would
days,
say
though.
than normal. What'd you say?
Not too many no trade days.
No, a couple no trade days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6. 6 no trade days. Yesterday was the pace that was from Asian the day before, so yeah, not bad. Pretty good for the most part. Pretty good. I had some a couple trades from the first week of July right here too, so. But yeah, ultimately, I'm coming off my best trading month ever in terms of profits. Also, I took my biggest loss last month, had my biggest red day, which was 21,000. But ultimately, came back and had such a successful month, and yeah, and now we just moved along here this month too. Really, a lot, just one trade, no trades. Right, 2 trades, 1 trade, 4 trades on this one, 2 trades, 1 trade, 2 trades, 1 trade. So not really trading that much, you know, taking 1 to 2 trades a day on average max, and that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. Trading pretty big. I mean, look at this, 1 loss. I lost $12,000. So I've been trading pretty heavy. But I don't care, you know what I mean? Because I'm just going to play at that level. So if I'm going to lose at that level, I'm going to work to win at that level. So usually my losses are about 10,000 these days, and my winners are probably on average like, you know, 6,000, 7,000. So still got that, you know, under negative RR and all that, but it doesn't matter, right? Because the win rate is just so on point, and I take 1 trade a day pretty much, and I don't let anything damage me, you know, so. Less is more.
Well done, brother.
We'll see what next month brings us. We were kind of reviewing August of 2025 in the Asian sesh, but this was my July of 2025. So still the same thing. You see, kind of a couple no trade days, couple red trades. You know, the summertime is a little tougher to take positions and get them to play out and all that. So. Yeah, but this was August of 2025, so we'll see if we can repeat a good month. Yeah.
Beautiful, brother. Like you always say, predictable results, man, right? A lot of green, little red, literally every single month. That's what you expect.
Think about same system, same results. Random system, random results. You choose. You choose which one you want to participate in. I don't know about y'all, but I'm here to make money. So I know that's kind of like the part that we put on the back end, but don't get it twisted, right? When I'm disciplined, when I'm patient, when I'm focused and not deviating, that's because I'm trying to get some money, right? And I want to make a lot of money in life. Not that money's the most important thing, but imagine having a tool, right? And a tool that can really, really make your life a little bit easier and make the people's lives around you a little easier. I'd like to have a lot of that tool, right? So, and I would recommend you do too. Why am I using MGC? I'm using the Z contract. Yeah, I just use MGC on Top Step. On my live account, I just go GC or NQ. I haven't traded NQ on my live account. I think I took one NQ trade. I've just been sample sizing on my funded accounts. Yeah, I got some payouts here with Top Step pending, so I'll probably take those today. Just to milk a little Top Step. I haven't really taken many payouts this year. I think this will be my 4th payout in the whole year, but I have done a lot of withdrawals, which has been really my main focus this year.
Nice 15 closure with no top wick there. There's the start, come back down.
Yeah, so step 1 done. 15, no top wick, possible fake out. If we can get this candle here, right, to kind of close like this, then I think we could start looking for the shorts coming down off of that 930 momentum, plus the 1 hour just looking juicy here for a break of the lows.
Yo.
Boom. What's the thought process a profitable trader has when blowing an account and getting a new one? Just making sure that the account was blown due to a good loss. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with losing and even blowing accounts at times. It's just, how is it happening? Is it happening via a clean playbook setup that typically makes you money more times than not? Or is it being, is it happening because you forced something, or you tried to, you basically deviated from the probabilistic system. So the main thing is just asking yourself, which one was it? And if it's one that, follows edge, then you just have to be cool with it and get a new account. If it's one that you're deviating from, then I wouldn't whip out the credit card for a new account right away. I'd start looking at my trades. What mistakes am I making them? Why am I making them? What's getting me to try and force trades or revenge trades, right? Why am I not okay with a loss? The greatest question on God's green earth is why. Best question ever. Why? It'll lead to so many answers. So you got to ask yourself, why did I take that trade? I knew it was breaking my plan, but why did I get in it anyway? And a lot of times, you're most likely just caught up in some stupid stuff, like you're in debt, or you got bills to be paid, or your boss is freaking annoying the daylights out of you, or it's something like that. Your wife's complaining about, we can't go on a vacation this year, honey, and your kid wants to sign up for baseball, and you're like, how am I going to get the money? This is how the emotions come into play, and all of a sudden you start deviating from the plan, or forcing things, or over trading, or over risking. It's never, very, very rarely based off technicals. It's always off of that other stuff. Again, all you need is your wife to come in the kitchen and say one thing, right? One thing that just doesn't sit right with your ego, and you're like, making your way to the desk. Where's the trades? And I'm going to get some money. And all of a sudden, it's like, well, dude, whoa. What are you doing? What are you doing, right? You gotta become aware when that moment comes upon you, right? We used to call that moment like that's the moment. Anyone ever been in that moment? Anyone? You just, all of a sudden, you just go into, you just turn into another person. and you start trading, and you're over risking, and you're revenge trading, and 25 minutes goes by, you lose all your accounts, and then you're thinking, what the hell just happened? Like, why did I do that? What you don't even realize. You're like, where was I? Where did I go? Like, where was I for the last 20 minutes? And where did all my accounts go? And it's the silent killer, for most traders, is they bring a lot of the outside world into trading with them versus just whatever happens out there happens, right? It's you got to show up every day and stay disciplined and follow your plan. I mean, what happens if you're an athlete? What happens if you're a boxer and you have a plan, but you break it? Someone's going to break your jaw, right? For the most part, you got to follow plan. So that's a lot of times what traders deal with. And if you could understand that now and combat that a little bit, like become aware of when that moment shows up. That was the big thing for me. Once I was actually able to, in real time, become aware and say, hey, look, this is where I tend to blow it. Let me not do anything right now. It's something powerful when you can grab a hold of yourself, right? And say, all right, this is where I usually mess things up. I'm out of here. I'm closing the charts. I'm getting off the desk. I'm going to do something else. And if you can, become aware of that, right, in real time, that's when things start changing. And all of a sudden, you'll realize you'll get proof too that that's the right action to take, because you'll wait. You won't take a stupid trade. You'll wait, and then you'll realize a really good trade showed up like an hour later, and you took that one instead. And then you're sitting there thinking, man, last month I would have took the other trade. I would have been in drawdown. How many of you guys have experienced this? It's like last week or last whatever, I would have done this or I would have done that. But now I stayed out. Another good trade showed up and I got a win. My goodness, man, you will feel like Superman, right? When that happens, and that feeling becomes addictive, right? And that's where I'm at, right? I love to just stay in the hunt and wait for the plan. Like the fact that I could have been in these cells, but I'm not in these cells. Like I live for that, like I feed off of that stuff where it's like, man, I'm able to handle myself, right? And follow my plan. And it's a confidence booster, man, especially as a trader. When hey, I'm willing to wait, I'm willing to be patient and disciplined. Some people just hear those as words, but man, it's a lifestyle, right? To be patient, to be disciplined, especially at the desk. And man, you just start walking and trading with a new swagger, bro. So yeah, that's what I would say.
So
just yesterday. Yeah, some of you guys just did that 2 hours ago. Yeah.
That's real truth right there, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right, I'm finna execute here. If we can get this 30 closure in about a minute. I like that 1 hour. I like the fact that the 15 is giving us a resistance. The 1 hour is respecting the highs, right? We could still come down and move here. And then the 30-minute, we'll see how this candle closes. If it closes back in the range, unfortunately, that'll be the only thing that turns me off from this idea here.
I mean, with that rejection off resistance, a nice strong body here would be great on the 15-minute to go along with that rejection wake up top.
Yeah, it would.
1 minute here. Let's see what we can do.
Yep. And then most people think, hey, if I do that for a week, man, some fairy will come down and drop some pixie dust on me, and I'll do that. It'd be like second nature, but it's not. You got to work on it daily. I mean, I had to work on that today, right? You guys seen how? Go back and rewind the stream. I just stared for a minute. Just didn't have anything to say, right? Because I was trying to put things together in my mind, right? And saying, all right, you know what? I want to get in, but I probably shouldn't get in, right? And I waited. I came up with a decision, and boom, that was it. There was no going back at that point, right? So it's about making quick, firm decisions and sticking to them, and never settling for like the half-ass trade when, a great trade could be right around the corner. All right, Goldie. We see. Oh, there you go, John. I don't know if John's seen that.
What?
The mute, not the mute option, but the option to lower your. Is that for me?
Oh, on the audio? Yeah, I knew how to do that, but Let me check it out.
Yeah, John just wants the death in you guys, so he's not gonna do that.
If you knew better, then do better, Johnny. Johnny?
I mean, I should be good. Am I not good?
I think you're pretty good on my end.
Low, loud,
Yeah,
I don't
same
know.
for me.
All right,
Same
cool.
for me.
So
You know
yeah,
how-
because I
you
adjusted
know how
that one
YouTube
before.
is, though.
For sure.
It sounds loud.
I'll
on YouTube.
all right, I'll put it down somewhere.
Like you could hear like my kids yelling on YouTube.
Yeah, it's true. YouTube microphone goes deep.
So one day I'll be right back, guys. Guy goes, he's taking a leak. I'm like, how's this guy hear that?
Wait.
like, so I don't know how YouTube can basically hear like everything inside my house. I don't know what's going on there.
Damn. Bro. That's so funny.
Oh snap!
It must have been quiet over here.
Hit the
Sheesh.
wall on that one.
Bro. Let's put that background music up a little bit.
All right, we gotta wait here. Closure in the range, so we gotta wait. Let's look at NQ for 9:30 though. Nah, nothing. We got no pullbacks. Nada. We might get it here though. We'll see. I really want that. Would have loved to participate in this range here, but nothing.
Man, well said though before, bro, right? If you want to get paid here, you got to do your job, right? And that job is simply just showing up and following your statistically reliable trading rules. That's it, bro, right? And instead of having outcome goals, have process goals to do exactly that. Literally just like any other job out there, right? We say it all the time, but just like any other job out there, there's always a job to do to get paid. And it's no different here. Just know your job and stay aware of it.
Am I still? Are you still? Yes, I am still. I am still. If you could go back in time to when you were in these final psychological struggles, right before you started seeing some signs of profitability, what would you tell yourself? Psychology only. I'd probably say, dude, you're closer than you think, right? Stop trying to force the breakthrough. Your job is not to make this happen faster. Your job is to really just stop self-sabotaging the edge that you already have. So take losses correctly. Stop needing every trade to work, right? To prove that I'm good or something. Trust the data, trust the process, things like that. Stay composed. Yeah. So I think that final struggle that you're talking about isn't really about learning more. It's about becoming more calm, more still, like someone just mentioned, but like calm enough to execute what you already know. So a lot of times we already know things, but because we're not composed and we're very anxious, we execute on things that don't even line up with what we should be doing. You know what I mean? So if you stay calm, stay composed. Fortunately for me, I had a lot of that composure. I had a lot of that emotional control before I ever got into trading, but I had to, adjust and kind of use it towards trading, and that definitely took a little bit of time. Yeah.
Man, through my study of pro traders, right, reading, some books on trading and also, listening to podcasts of pro traders, as well as, Nick as my mentor, there was three things in common I seen from all of them, which was they traded edge, they had risk management rules, and they always thought in probabilities. So I think if you're looking to become a pro trader, I would really focus on those three concepts right there and look to just make progress and level up in those areas. Again, make sure you're trading edge, you got risk management rules and probability mindset, right? If you think about it, if you do that stuff every single day, how could you lose long term, right? Like you're always keeping yourself safe and in the game and to have an edge long term, right? If you trade edge, you're producing positive expectancy. If you think in probabilities, you're embracing the uncertainty and being a good loser. And if you got risk management rules, you're there, that will keep you safe and profitable. So lock in on those three things right there. And I think if you do that, if you focus on that and get better in those areas and do it every single day, over 100 to 1,000 days, you're going to be an absolute savage and professional trader.
Savage. John's the best. John is the best. Yeah, he's the man.
Thank you.
What were you?
We're all the best here. Let's get it.
What was I taking for my teeth? You need some help, dude? I'm not a dentist. Stop eating sugar, brother. Sugar. If you stop eating sugar, your whole life will change. Yeah. No sugar. Not even your dentist could come up with that one.
Dentists just be like, floss.
Dentist like, no, more fluoride.
Just
More
floss more.
fluoride. More fluoride. More fluoride. Fluoride.
Root canal. You need a root canal.
Oh, let me check a look. Oh, yeah.
solution.
I don't even need to look. I could just tell you're going to need a root canal. Yep, root canal it is. Root canal. Root canal.
That'll
Root
be
canal.
$1,000.
Fluoride.
No insurance? All right. $2,000.
Well, we have what we call in-office insurance, which we can certainly take care of you. Not a problem at all, right? So, yeah, just cut out the sugar, man. Brush your teeth with salt. Salt water. What's
Like, damn, do you want me to get a...
Someone here made their own toothpaste. So, yeah, they sent me, I think it was
Oh, nice.
Was it the Big M, maybe? Yeah, I think the Big M. Yeah.
Oh, I might be careful with that one then.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch the Big M, you know? He was talking about putting deodorant in there or something.
Yeah, I'll pass on that one.
Is the Big M here? I haven't seen him this week.
Yeah, he's always here.
Oh, he is. He's here.
He's savage. He's the class clown that I would have been hanging out with probably in school back in the day.
Or the troublemaker, not
The troublemaker.
Memes, bro.
the Big M, bro. Go to the principal's office.
Yeah, John, can you lower your voice?
All right, bro. Let me put this all the way down.
Yeah,
on my
put that
mic.
all the way down, dude. All the way down. You're all the way up. You need to be all the way down at this point. Turn down for what? For what? So
Turn
my
down
ears
for
can
what?
survive.
How am I?
I got you guys, chat. I got y'all. Yeah, that's sounding a lot better. Maybe even slightly lower than that.
All right, bro. Let me do that.
Oh, my ears. Wow. I liked what he was saying, but my ears were just... They were screaming for help. Anyone else like, oh my God, man. Anyone in those cells from earlier, toasted. I can still hear them. Oh, snap. Yes, use that setting now every day that you're on vacation. That was crazy. He's gone. He's gone. Just enjoy the silence a little bit. Oh man. That's lovely. He got angry. Where's gold going? Gold's going up with no 4-hour bottom wick, pushed straight through resistance after rejecting it. The lovely tales of the market. Yeah, 1 hour snagged that low. NQ just going here too. I wasn't looking for buys. No, especially not in that range. Yeah, we needed closures above it. So I had no buys in this overall chop here. No way. But it worked out well. Worked out well there. 4 hour still no bottom wick, so looking to maybe see if we can get the rejection still off of the highs here. My issue here is the daily and the 4 hour like so conflicting, right? Because the daily wants to move up, but the 4 hour was just rejecting the resistance like crazy, right? Trying to come down for that lower wick. So that's the confusion here with the time frames. So that's why I'm a little less aggressive, right, in that range here today, because that 4 hour resistance sitting right there, we're already rejecting. So, but let's see, maybe we come up into the 4 hour highs here once again and now come down for the low. Old me? Yeah, old me. Someone's in the buys. Who's in the buys? Who got into the sell? That's what I want to know. You guys made the buyer's day.
Yeah, the daily really does look good to fill the wick, doesn't it? But then the 4 hours just screaming for a bottom wick.
Yep. Not everyone asking questions is attacking. I don't think anyone's attacking. Is anyone attacking? Attack! Attack! Yeah, I didn't think anyone was attacking. Yeah, a lot of sellers definitely got in. That was some liquidity right there for sure. For sure. So I'm glad that we didn't get so caught up in the hype and really kind of use that 15-minute candle as an opportunity to just let a 15 close, right, before we do anything. And I think that ultimately saved us right there. Let's see if the daily wants to keep going. Daily should have no problem moving up. You know, I think the only problem the daily had was the 4 hour was at resistance and had no bottom wick. So now that we're starting to push through, and you know, we might move up. We'll see.
Oldie pushing up. Nice push there.
Yo, positive mind. Get her on the charts. Get her on there, man. Sometimes the less you know, the better. All right, we also get a 4 hour closure here coming up too in about 17 minutes. So we'll see how all that pans out. But if you guys have any questions on teeth or dentistry, I could be happy to help you here today. I'm a tooth expert at this point. A lot of chop, yeah, a lot of chop here.
Yeah, E-hop, exactly, man. That is exactly trading, right? Where it made more sense for the 4 hour to make a bottom wick here, but the 4 hour is still pushing up, right? But that's trading, right? The randomness of the market, the uncertainty is real.
Hey, John, we can't hear you too well. Can you bring that up a little bit?
Oh my god.
Sorry. Not that much, dude. I already heard it on the. Okay, a little bit, yeah.
Guys asking me to put it down.
No, a little bit more, a little higher, bro. We can't hear you.
All right, but
Come on, John, that's too low.
how we doing?
A little higher.
1 million, 2 million, 3 million,
Keep going.
4 million, 5 million. All right.
A little higher.
$10 million.
Little lower.
All right.
I'm working for chat.
Now I
all
think
right?
you're messing with me.
All right, I think that's good. Chat, what do you guys think about right
All right.
there? I think that might be perfect.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, maybe a little louder. Yeah, I think maybe
Yeah, you
maybe
guys
a
are annoying.
slight bit louder. I'm serious though. Like we can't even hear you now. I would say a little higher.
I just made it up. Put it up. A little higher, bro.
All right.
Like I'd say like maybe one more. Yeah, that should be good right there.
All right, bet, bro. We're good now.
Yeah, I think that's good. What do you think, chat?
Awesome. You guys still want the gem or no?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're good now.
All right, bro. Cool.
What was the gem? Less fluoride?
So
More salt?
Yeah, less fluoride, man. There was something I read in the Forex mindset, and it was like the market is always right. The trader is sometimes right, sometimes wrong. Therefore, the trader has the greater responsibility of having a plan and sticking to it, having risk management, thinking a certain way, right? And like I said, like the market's going back to what the guy on YouTube said, right? Like it makes more sense for the 4 hours to make that bottom wick, but the 4 hours pushing up right now. It's just the uncertainty is real, and that's just because the markets are going to do whatever they want, right? So us traders need to be aware of that and let the markets go before us and wait for the markets to give us what we want. But that's what I was going to say before.
My bad. Can you just repeat that like one more time? Just turn it up like one notch and then repeat all that, because I heard it, but I don't think anyone else did.
Never mind.
Give us another chapter, bro. Give us something from another chapter. 2 points higher, though.
I could. I don't know if you guys deserve it, though.
I'm just working for chat here, you know, just trying to make sure it's all good, right, Green?
That'll be for you.
Okay, so we're gonna get we got a 15 closure here. You got your 945 candle. We are moving up. We are certainly moving up. Your 30-minute candle's still open. Your 1 hour candle's still open. So at this point, probably gonna wait on the 4 hour in 12 minutes and see what we can get from the 10 a.m. candle instead of the 9 a.m. candle today. What time did we trade yesterday? I think yesterday was like what, 10:32? I can't remember. Forget.
Did we even take a trade yesterday? We did it.
Yesterday? No, actually. Wait.
No,
What was
never
it?
mind.
Oh, yeah. The day before, I think it was 10:30.
It was FOMC
that's right.
yesterday.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, you might be right about that. The day before.
Clinky. Magnus, how's your trip going, man? Nice. When do you go back home?
Damn, August 5th. He's still got time though.
Yeah, that boy still got a whole week. Man,
He's
chilling.
living it up in Greece.
Bro's been there for 3 weeks.
You gotta bump that Ja Rule song, "Living It Up." Some video together. We can't wait to see the vlog. If we tap 4 hour highs and we close below, will we sell? Yeah, I mean, we'll look for it, but then we still need to set up. You know what I mean? So yeah, we'll see what happens here. 4 hour coming into these wick rejections. You also got more highs up here. So yeah, I'd like to maybe sell off the resistance if possible, because I can see this next 4 hour candle like just coming down, right, to make that bottom wick here. Boom, do something like that, kind of like you see happen right here. Boom. So yeah, I mean, I'll definitely be open to look for setups up here for sure. Ask questions to Jimmy Ding Dong. I got you, bro. I got you. No fluoride. YouTube can't hear Magnus. Oh, that's because I don't think Magnus is here. He's just in the chat.
His camera's on.
Oh, it is? I thought
Yeah.
he was on the island of Waikiki.
Oh, well, it's not now. It was on, but he
Alright,
turned it
alright.
off.
I think he's enjoying his
My
vacant.
bad. Yeah.
You guys don't like the low music? All right, I'll turn it up a little. I can hear the music on my end, but there you go. How's that? How's that? You guys were yelling at me earlier, lower the music. Felt like I was like partying back in my teenage years and you guys were like my neighbors. How's that?
That's good.
That's good? It's a little low today. Perfection. I think I've perfected the volume at this point. What do you think, Green? Wow, Dylan says it's perfect. That means it must be like perfection then. Perfection, Dylan. So, what'd you guys learn this month, chat? Anything? You learn anything about the markets? Did you learn anything about yourself? How you operate in the market? What'd you guys figure out this month? Because a whole month went by. You know, you probably should have learned some things. Anything you'd like to share with us? You learned to brush your teeth with salt water. That's a start, baby. What'd you guys tinker with this month? What'd you learn? What mistakes did you make? What mistakes did you avoid? What new positive habits did you start to implement? Which negative habits did you stop doing? Anything? Anything? Cold showers, no sugar, no fluoride. Oh, don't forget to when you wash your hair, use egg yolk.
That's a light biohack.
But I'd love to hear how you guys are growing, learning, or if you're still dealing with some sort of mistakes, see how I can help y'all. Start support and resistance better. The fade's starting to become more favorable trade. Oh, and your data as well. Nice. Slow is fast. Okay, I like it. I only need 3 to 4 trades a week to make the same as my job. That's a liberating feeling. Now you know you don't have to go crazy on the markets and do all. Imagine when you start sizing up, James. So imagine when you start going, you know, double your size, and then you start doubling that size, you know, and it's all of a sudden you went from, you know, leaving your job at making what you normally made to now you're making double and triple what you used to make at your job, doing, you know, less work now than you were doing before. So it gets pretty awesome.
And I can kind of vouch for Nick there as well with what he's saying. Like, I went from making around 4,000 a month at my job, and then last Friday, this was last year, and then this year, after 12 months in this community with Nick and John and Magnus all mentoring alongside Rafi, last Friday I managed to do that in a single day. So trading can really, really change your life pretty quickly.
Yes, it can.
If you treat it very seriously, obviously.
100%.
Yep, I agree. It happens fast. I know it happened for me like that too. It was it took a long time to finally pop, but when it popped, like when it came together, it really started coming together with some momentum. So it's all about, can you build up enough momentum with the skill and whatnot, and get enough clarity to eventually, you know, and that doesn't happen every day, right, Gareth? Like, we're gonna run into, when you're not forcing these big trades, you're going to get yourself, you know, profit, but all of a sudden it's going to fall right into your lap like a bigger day. Like, I had one day, and this day kind of actually represents a lot of my profit. It was last month, and it was it last month? Yeah, it was last month, and it was 19,000 on one day, and that day made a huge, right? Notice how all my other winners are like 5,000, 6,000, 5,000, right? But some days you're just going to be able to run into the right trade. And when you're prepared for it and you're, you know, just taking it as it comes, you know, a lot of times you're going to be able to find some good one, you know, that shows up once, maybe twice a month, and you can really, really take advantage of it. but you got to have the skill. You know, you got to know how to measure things with
Yeah.
conditions and whatnot. Like check out the webinar we did this past weekend. That'll help. But you got to know when to size up. You got to know when to size down. You got to know when to size at a standard, you know, position too.
And yeah, and also, like, for example, this is what I'm starting to implement, like what Nick is just talking about there. My whole month's P&L, 50% of it came across 3 trading days.
Yeah.
So for me, it was the 8th, the 24th, and then yesterday when we got those Asian buys.
Yep.
So it really just, when you learn how to size, it then goes from being somebody who just takes a trade every day to like really like being a bit more of a sniper. Like 2 to 3 to 4 days of that month can really be your big hitting days.
Yep.
When markets are showing good high probability setups.
And we see that with the pros, right? So the only people, like we actually, believe it or not, we look up to a lot of traders. Their names aren't as popular as some of your Instagram gurus, but they're professionals on the street, you know, up in Wall Street or Chicago or working for these big firms. And we see that with the pros as well. It's a lot of base hits. And then ultimately, couple times a year, you know, there's a spike, boom, right? And I would talk about this a lot because, you know, all of a sudden, like P&L can go a little slow, but then all of a sudden one big spike and now you're trading up here. Right, and then it kind of goes slow, one big spike, and all of a sudden you're trading up here now, right, with your P&L. And we see that happen with ourselves. We see it happen with the pros, where it's a very, you know, it's like a streak of just base hits, and then a big opportunity shows up, right, and then base hits, and then a big opportunity shows up. So you got to really know how to take advantage of those opportunities when they show, and you can, you know, bank off of like just like the pros do, knowing when to size up. Yep.
Great point, man.
Yep. We study the pros. Success. Yeah, there you go. Earl Nightingale. W. Negative 21K. Yeah, I had my one of my biggest green days and also one of my biggest red days and actually my biggest month ever, all in the same month. So talk about up and down and all around. And you had first was one of my best days ever. Then one of my worst days ever, and then my best month ever, all in the same month. That's great. And if you don't keep composure, awesome, right? And look, we talked about this on one of the breakdowns here, but man, look, I didn't try and force a trade here or here. I was down 21 grand. I didn't force a trade on the 18th, on the 19th, or on the 21st or 22nd. It wasn't until the 23rd, right, where I had another
best opportunity.
Yeah, I actually lost that next trade too. You could see here 50-50. The first one was a loss, and then the second one was a W. So you see how I kind of didn't force anything? Look, even ran into another loss. So really 3 losses in a row almost from that 21K, but still managed, right, to do extremely well that month. So
Yeah, great example of how you shouldn't really judge yourself based off outcomes, but based off how well you follow your rules, right? Because if you follow your rules, you can have a red day or 2 red days or 3 red days out of the month, but still overall finish green, right? So It's like not a right or wrong game, just a game of consistently following the edge.
Yep.
And that's a great example of it right there, really.
Exactly. You got to realize before that 21K loss even came, I was already close to like $50,000 in profit. So it really doesn't hurt that much, and I can easily move on, you know, with the next setup. So did it affect me a little bit? I don't know. Maybe I didn't trade 18, 19, or 22nd. You know what I mean? So maybe I was kind of standoffish, right? Being very picky, waiting for the right opportunity. So 930? No, 930 wasn't my trade at all. That's not my trade. I never take trades like that.
What a juicer here. Sheesh.
Yeah, there's nice that daily wick fill now.
She gone. 1 hour funky. Mine didn't close above resistance. You know, I'm not sure what resistance you're talking about, but this one was the one I was using, and then you have all this rejection here. So you would have to close to get me in. You would have to close above there. But hey, that doesn't mean it was the wrong move, right? I mean, just because I didn't take it doesn't mean it's a bad idea. It's just this is how I trade. This is what keeps me signing off every month like this, so I stick to it.
No top way.
Remember, your setup is not your system is neither right or wrong. It either makes money or it doesn't. You know, so that's kind of the way I look at things. Like, anyone could have taken this move. Like, someone could have even used like a moving average or a trend line or a Fibonacci or you guys know the indicators, right? Anything can be used as assistance here. It's not that it's a bad trade. It's just not the one for me. Why would I avoid the 930 trade? I just mentioned that. The funny thing is, did you avoid it? Right? Because if you liked it and you understood, right, that the only thing that matters is whether or not you executed, right? I'm already stacked on the month. I've already made my money, you know. I would have took the trade if it was a good like idea, but it just wasn't, right? I was more so looking for the shorts at that point, looking to see if we can come back down and close below. But if you liked it, you know, the question is, did you take it or did you hold off? So if you held off, that was kind of against your plan, right? If your plan was to get involved there, then you should have been involved. You shouldn't have been waiting for me. You should have been going off your data, right? And then kind of executing like that if you thought it was a good trade. Which I didn't mind it. I just was bearish at the moment and wanted to see a resistance form up here and take the sells to bring that 4-hour candle back down for a low. Right? We're kind of at this resistance here. Just tapping. So bearish 1-hour closure, waiting for bottom wick. Wasn't really looking for the buys. What's one piece of trading advice that's popular but I completely disagree with? Probably nothing. I really don't. I know nothing. I don't. You know. I don't really completely disagree with everything. What comes to my mind like right away is probably the RR. Is that, you know, traders think that they have to have a 3-to-1, 4-to-1, 5-to-1, but we've just proven time and time again that you don't need that. But other than that, I don't really have many opinions, to be honest. I trade my system, and that's it. You know what I mean? I try not to bark down I try not to really get involved with other systems or say that they don't work, mine works better. I mean, none of that stuff is true. So I just try and stick to what I do best and make my money and help you guys understand the way I trade. All right, we'll see what happens here. I'm still pretty eager here for the shorts. So we got no wick on basically everything, right? So once we can get a bearish closure, I think we might be in store for a little pushback down. So we'll see. We got no top wick here. So a nice closure like that would be clean too. 15-minute inverted celery. We'll have that closure in about, what, 12 minutes? 11 minutes? So yeah, we'll see.
Yep. No closure above.
You can never count us out too early, though. It might be a buzzer beater. You just never know.
You never know when the edge presents itself, right? Just gotta be here, ready to go.
All I know is I'll be here observing.
Yep.
What to do next? I don't know, man. You got any things that you need to do around the house that can take 10 minutes? Maybe something like that. You got any questions that you need answers to?
What to do next is wait.
Is this the fade opportunity? No, not. I don't know. Did we open up with a small lower wick and then push up? I wasn't fully paying attention.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for a closure, so.
I don't really know.
Yeah, I think it's probably a little aggressive for the fade here, but it could work. I think I'm going to wait on the closure. We're just so bullish, so I'd rather just wait for the closure here. I've improved my discipline very much to a good level. Cool. My direction is also good. But now I don't have a trade. So when waiting for price move without me, good. Now your patience is being tested. So your discipline has been improved. Your analysis is now on the money, and now you will learn patience. And patience is required to make money here. So when that setup's not there, you just stay out. That's your only job. Your job is to not force it. Your job is to just observe, and when the market presents an opportunity, you execute. If it doesn't, you just remain the observer. Remain the observer. Hey, let's go, Logan. W. Progression. Progress. If you can't make big changes, start with small habits first. Yeah, that's major. That's everything. I mean, there really is no such thing as a big change. Yeah, like every now and then you'll have those rare occasions of a drastic change real quick, but a lot of it, most of it, is done through changing those small daily habits. And they don't seem like they're doing so much in the here and now, but over time they make the biggest difference. So that's the issue with the small changes, is that they don't show results right away. So most people stop doing them, and that's why they never get the big change, right? Because we know that the small improved habits lead to the big change, but if you're not willing to do the small little habits, you never get the big change, right? So yeah, congrats on that. That's amazing. And if you don't know your why, right? If you don't know why you're doing this, the reasons behind it, you will never ever stay disciplined enough through those little small mundane things that chip away at success. You'll never stay in the game if you don't actually know why you're doing it. It'll just become too boring, too mundane, not worth the ROI, right? Of course, in the here and now, but later, definitely worth the ROI. So yeah, if you don't know your why, it's very tough to stick to small changes on a day to day. But once you know why you're doing it, what outcome you're trying to create, game begins to get different.
For real, bro. When you know your why and goal, you can act with intention and purpose, which makes the biggest difference.
Yep. Come on, Goldie. Come on.
Yeah.
Really?
You don't want to give us those sales gold?
You don't want to give us nothing? Nothing here?
All right.
Just up, down, up, down.
It's making us wait.
Hey, yo.
Nice, Tyler. Yeah, that's good. Kind of diversifying a little bit. Taking some trades on your own. Yup, perfect. Awesome. Yeah, great stuff. I learned live trading might be the lane. Yup. Yeah, it could be, for sure. Yup. Prop rules are too hard on the mental. It makes sense, it really does. I'm definitely more free trading my live account, it feels like. But the funded stuff has their pros as well. But yeah, sometimes like your personality might not fit the actual like funded route, so that could be an issue too. Like for me, I always like using my own money with whatever I was doing. I was using my own money to try and invest and flip and stuff like that. So trading kind of and I started trading my own money too, and then eventually got into the prop firm game. But yeah, I do like trading my own capital, probably a little bit better as well. I learned that there's no need to chase trades. DTAT size, yup. Risk up on A+. Love it. Yeah. What a nice month to learn, a slow month and not much happening. You could really kind of focus on your studies and trying to learn a little bit better versus, always trying to get into trades and stuff like that. So yeah, good. Oh. Yep. Listen to Jim Rome for 5 hours today. Let's go. I love Jim Rome, man. I love that guy.
That's the man.
Yeah, I was listening to a bunch of him a couple days ago. AI bots for someone that don't know much about trading. I'm not sure. That's not my specialty. Oh, going to see Spider-Man? Okay. All right.
Enjoy it.
Oh yeah. You know, Matthew. Trading is a battle. It legit is a battle. Yup. And most of that battle is in the mind. My mentor would call it mental ping pong. Mental ping pong, he would call it. Just the back and forth in your own thoughts.
Damn, Nick, I love that. I never heard that one from you.
Yeah.
Mental ping pong. Great, bro.
Yup, you just go back and forth. I should do it. I shouldn't do it. I can do it. I can't do it. It will work. It won't work. So once you can kind of quiet the noise in the mind, and again, this is why we preach so hard on systems, because systems takes the thinking out of the game, right? So once you can rely on system and routine, you don't do that back and forth as much anymore. Was there a time where your financial goals scared you? Oh yeah, and believe it or not, they were smaller. They were actually the smaller goals. I believe it was more hard for me to make 10K a month than it was to make 100K a month. Yep. So back then I had I never made money. You know what I mean? I always wanted to make money, but my parents didn't make that much money. I never made that money. So it was a little scary because those financial goals, right? The vision was so big that I wasn't going to be able to accomplish that. It was going to take almost a new me, you know? So I knew that the work was really to be done on myself, right? And I remember Mr. V sat me down one day. He said, Nick, because I was like, why am I not making money, you know? And he said, listen to me, your level of personal growth and development will never exceed your finances. So right then and there, I understood I didn't necessarily have to focus on making a lot, like creating a business, creating all the, you know, the actual like business itself, but I had to work on me. And once I worked on me, then I would flow properly with what I wanted, my businesses, and the money that was going to be generated. But ultimately, it was going to take a new version of me to achieve those goals. And, you know, that could be a little scary. It's all about changing the identity. It has nothing to do with the money, the business. It's all the identity in a way. Yeah, that's probably the scarier part. It's not even necessarily the money or the number. It's more so who do I have to be, right, to actually receive that. And if I look in the mirror right now, will those two individuals look identical, or do we need to make some changes? And in my case, I had to make changes. Bunch of small ones too. Yep. USD JPY. I'm good. Traders think they're all so wise and I am a wise prophet. What you talking about? What trader? You're not looking at a trader. Let me guess. You're the guy that wants to know the bias and the setup. All right. Let's Focus on trading. Okay, here we go. All right, 4 hour no top wick, right? So we're kind of looking for sells here at some point. You got no top wick on the 4 hour. Your 1 hour also has no top wick. It would be awesome if we can close below the range, get some resistance here, right? And then maybe take the sells back down. 30 minute working on resistance here as well. 15 minute has one. So I might be interested in this. If we can get a decent top wick, we can sell this coming back down into the, probably into 44 here. So let's see if we can get a decent top wick, expecting price to move off of that resistance, also with that no top wick on the 4 hour and whatnot, and see if we can get price to come down. So we're gonna need a pretty decent top wick, something that is obvious, and then sell stops on the break of the lows. But this could be our shot. If we don't get the top wick that we need, we could wait on the 30, but let's see if we can get something good, because we need a good stop loss here. Definitely can't use that. We need to use a current candle stop. So what up, Tamra?
What's up, Tamra?
How you doing? All right, I'd say top wicks probably up until like, let's take a look left here. Maybe 64-ish. Kind of trying to anticipate something like this happening over here. Oh, man, we got nasty, nasty thunderstorms going on right now.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Florida summer.
Always been your own worst enemy? Yeah, most people. That's most people. Yep. Think about this. I want you to think about it. If you had yourself as your own best friend, you wouldn't have a best friend anymore. The way you talk to yourself most of the times. So there's a really good book called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, believe it or not. And I would highly recommend you check it out. Liam King's over here like, another book recommendation. Who's this guy think he is, a philosopher? Yeah, thunderstorms, heavy thunderstorms, actually. You guys didn't hear that? My whole house shook. How do you go about stacking accounts and stuff like that? Sometimes I stack them, sometimes I don't. Yeah, I mean, right now, like, I don't even have any of my XFAs tied up. I just, one of them or two of them have a payout pending, and then the other ones I'm just kind of freestyling with. So sometimes I tie them together. I would probably recommend, what I usually like to do is, if I have 5, then I'll put like 3 of them to 4 of them and hook them together, and then leave one off of the chain. So that way, in case I, got to let's say I take a win or a loss in a certain session, and I don't want to take another trade on that account, I can. So I like to tie a few of them together and then leave 1 or 2 off the chain. That way I could just use those for different opportunities. Oh, let's go, Jason. Great book, man. Great book. I actually watched that guy. I went to a weekend seminar with him. It was unbelievable. Thunder, yep. Sunny in the Midwest today? Hey, nice. Past 5 combines, congratulations. Congrats. Yeah, I would, if you're wondering about copy trading too, I'd say, put 3 of them, if you're comfortable, on the copy trader, and then, keep the other 2 off of it. NQ starting to shape up here too. I think 30 closure is going to help us out here. We got a 30 closure in 10 minutes. So I think if we can get a good bearish candle here, we might be able to look for the shorts on NQ as well. Boom, 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 boom. Where do I see gold by the end of the year? I have no idea. I never thought that far. Might be right here.
All it takes is one Trump tweet for it to for it to be somewhere else. So it's hard to predict.
You just never know. Do you think we still need a range 2, even though the 4-hour close without a top wick? We could. I would have been okay with just a good top wick here and then selling off of that fake out, but yeah, you could wait for range 2 as well. Range 2 or a good top wick would have been great there. Been stacking pretty good. Okay, amounts of winning trades. Nice. Oh yeah, you're welcome, brother. Of course. Of course. Doesn't trading get a little easier? The hardest part is waiting. It's waiting for a top wick and having price run on you. It's, waiting for sells here and then it doesn't work out and now you got to wait a whole nother hour. That's the hardest part. And everyone who thinks, oh, I would have been in that, I took that, so I took this, like most of them don't even make money trading. They just talk, right? So a lot of this game is waiting it out, just having an idea, seeing if it can fall into your lap, and if it doesn't, the hardest part now is waiting for another trade setup. But once you can figure all that out and get all that under control and be okay with the idea of, man, we want buys here, price goes up without us, or we want sells there and it goes down without us, not because we weren't smart enough to get in, but because we didn't like the look of the setup or the entry or something like that. So trading is about letting a lot of ideas go that don't technically line up with your criteria, and most people cannot do that. But it's no surprise why most traders cannot make money. Right? So you got traders that will, especially when you go live or something, you'll have all these guys yapping around, but none of them make money, right? They all yap, they all take so many trades, yet none of them can show you any results, right? Or anything good that comes from that yapping. So the hardest part about all of this is blocking out the noise, waiting for the perfect setups to show up, executing when they do, and really just doing nothing in the meantime. Most people just screw things up in the wait. They can't wait long enough, and then eventually they take a random trade and then they get a random result from it. So this is the hardest part. Once you can understand how to wait and know what you're looking for, the game becomes easy. It really does. Notice how most of our trades are winners. Why is that? It's because we wait for the right opportunities, right? And yeah, there might be some other opportunities where maybe we could get aggressive, but we don't need to, right? We don't need to, because the right opportunities will show up and we'll win those trades most of the time. So if you can finally understand the waiting game, you're gonna see better results in your trading. I might take a trade today. It actually might not come till for 2 hours. I don't know. It might come in the next 20 minutes, right? We just don't know what's gonna happen. So, and guess what? We don't have to know, right? We don't have to know what's going to happen next in order to make money. We just got to wait for good probability setups, and when they show up, we take them. I hope you understand that. Man, I hope you get it. That's my prayer for you today, is really that you understand the hunt, right, and the waiting game, and block out all the brokies who talk about, you got to take the trade now. You got to take the trade here. Take it. None of them make money, right? When you block all that out, you learn to wait. That's what the pros do, right? And then all of a sudden, trading becomes fun for you, and you start winning a lot, and you start stacking, W trades in your P&L, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, less really was more, and it's a liberating feeling. How do I occupy my mind while I'm waiting? With you guys. I answer your questions. I read your silly comments. If I'm not with you guys, I'll go play with the kids, hang out. Like, if I'm not with you guys, I already know, all right, I got to wait for this closure. I can go, do something around the house for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it takes for the candle to close. It's interesting how someone will be on their stream all alone in their office and feel the need to force trades. And no one's even trying to get them to force a trade. And then here I am. I should be the guy probably forcing the most trades, right? Because I got the most eyes on me, and everyone's watching my chart and looking for so I should be the guy that's trying to force the trade here. But notice how I remain disciplined and patient and just take the perfect opportunities when they show up. So if I'm not forcing trades, you know, and I got everyone watching, basically waiting to take a trade with me, then you shouldn't be forcing trades, right? Like you're hanging out all alone. You got no one, you know, you got no one even asking a question or asking, hey, what can we trade now? Can we trade now? Right? So it should be even easier for you to kind of stay out of the market. Yeah, we all hate Mason. We all hate, like, even this right here. I'm like, you couldn't just give me a better top wick? Like, I don't like it either. You know, I would like to be in this sell too. But again, you can't always get everything you want in life. Especially right now and right in the moment. Stare at the doorknob. Go have a little conversation with your doorknob if you're over trading. At what point would I change my bias to bullish? So my issue with the bullish bias is that no top wick at resistance. So I don't even think I'd be looking for buys the remainder of the day. Yeah, like if I'm looking for like longs to play out, I'm likely not really interested in taking them, but more so taking them just as like a confirmation that we got a clean pullback and looking for the sell after it. Like that. Yeah, because that 4 hour having no top wick is going to be an issue, a big issue. And the daily already tapped these targets up at the wick fill, so I think the buys have run their course here today. Like even if a support shows up, I think I would still rather wait for like a closure back below it. So you get a support here or something, and then don't take the buy, but wait for the sell. Something like this would be better. Maybe tap the buyers in and then sell back down.
I like that.
Yeah. 20 to 500 and back to 120. Yeah, it's a wild ride when you're trading all day. How do you say that when the 1 hour and the 4 hour closing above? Well, the daily kind of filled the wicks here and starting to reject, right? So I believe target's been tapped on the daily. I also believe the target's been tapped on the 4 hour and we got no wick. So I don't really care about that 1 hour. That 1 hour also never closed above anyway. So everything closed below and nothing has a top wick. So that makes it so easy for me to not participate in any buys. Or at least not feel the need to participate in the buys. The sell is what I wanted, but I just wanted a better top wick there. Because if we didn't have a better top wick, then realistically we probably would have had to use 280 pip stops there for what? Maybe 130. So if we had a good stop, we could have had like 130 stops for like 130 partials. Did I get your application for the elite? No, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna check them all today though. Yeah, I'm gonna check them all today.
Have any of the spots been taken yet since you opened it back up?
Yeah, pretty much all of them. So it's gonna be a problem.
Not surprised.
Yeah. So I try to, basically usually the day I mention, because we don't open the elite program too much anymore. So the day it's brought up, it's basically over for anyone trying to like first couple guys, especially if they're serious guys that are in the clubhouse, who I know a little bit. I'm usually gonna pick those guys. So yeah, but I'll if I do decide to open anything else up, I'm gonna look at all the applications and stuff. But it's quick. That's why I try and tell people. I'm like, hey, in August, but then it's like, the right guys show up and it's over. The basically the day the door opens is the same day it closes. But I will take a look, brother, because I see you consistent here. And again, the hungry dog eats. So if you're hungry and you prove to me, hey, I'm definitely willing to listen and learn and be coachable, and I got big goals, and maybe I'll make exceptions and stuff. So I'll definitely check it out for sure. All right, so we get a closure here. I mean, this is where the buys technically could play out, but I want to see if we can maybe get a little bit of a pullback. So get a little bit of a pullback and then look to take sells here. I'm really not interested in buys. So any sort of closure or move up that breaks the highs will probably entice me to either set a sell stop now or wait on the closure and then have one in a few minutes. Yeah, maybe a pack runner here too. You got a clean 30 closure. But I think what would be best here is not just the 30 closure, but 30 top wick, right? Or like 15 kind of create this candle. And if it closes strong, we wait for a second closure. But if it closes weak, then we look to get in off the 30-minute break of the low. And we got like a celery play here. So something like this.
Yep. Plus pack runner.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's the move. That's the vibe right there.
It's clean.
And that would basically just be a 30-minute onion. That would be this, only we'd have some nice confirmation on more of a lower time frame to execute on it. $30-minute onion, I don't yeah, I like it. But after grabbing the pack, and even if we can get like that celery, that would be awesome too. This would be the perfect setup right here. Grateful for being a subscriber. Hey, grateful to have you as one, man. Happy to hear that your life is changing, and maybe this channel had a little something to do with it. But you are the main reason for the change. You decided to come here and keep showing up and work on yourself. So I'm happy and I'm grateful that I had a little bit to do with that growth. But man, that's kudos to you. Congratulations to you for locking in and staying committed and showing up every day and getting better, just chipping away. Can I consider 51 as an observation zone? 51. Yes. Yep. Yeah, so if you want to take the cells below there and just see what happens in between there, that's not a bad idea either. Yep. Yeah, Austin, I see it. I just don't like it. Yeah, it definitely could play out. So if you guys like the buys here on the inverted celery, I can see it playing out. I just don't want it. I'd rather take the sells here. Why don't you start Asian stream on YouTube? Because we stream it in the Clubhouse. Yeah, Asian session's like my favorite session, by the way. I mean, it just goes down in the Asian sesh.
Oh yeah. Best session for sure. That's where you might hear some Mr. V audios.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I gotta do that today. I'll try and find a good like 45 minutes of Mr. V, and I'll play it on the intro of either tonight's Asian or Monday.
That's the only
we got
session
Asian
you're
tonight,
hear
right?
then, so
Yeah,
if you
today's
wanna hear
Thursday.
Last Asian session of the week, yup. If you want to hear that audio, man, come to Asian session.
Oh, I forgot. I gotta change the title. The title says Wednesday here. It's really whatever you guys want.
Hey, man,
you guys want it to be Wednesday or Thursday?
Whether it's Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, we're following our plan, right? No matter what, the job remains the same.
Hold on. I'll have to edit it later or something. Asian session? Yeah, it's been real good lately. Yeah, yeah. Last year was awesome too in Asian. Yeah, believe it or not, I actually never traded the Asian session in my career until probably about 4 to 5 months before I started the Clubhouse. When I just started looking into Asian, looking around, and noticed good trades. That was when like Trump was talking every night too. He was doing all these meetings and stuff, and the markets were moving. So yeah, I actually, but for the first couple years, I never traded Asian sesh. It really doesn't matter what day it is. Yeah, but I guess it's basically like whatever day you want it to be. I mean, who's gonna tell you otherwise? I'd be like, yo, it's Wednesday. You're like, no, it's Thursday. I'm like, nah, it's Wednesday. It's man-made. It's man-made.
It's all illusion.
Sky's blue. Nah, it's green. What do you want me to do?
Different day, same habits.
I'm just kidding. My average green day? My average day, just my average green day and red day is 1,400 and 1,300. So these are my stats over about 2.5 years. So over the last 2.5 years, I've averaged about 1,400 on my winners and 1,300 on my losers. So obviously things have changed a little bit, over the last couple of years, but on average, I'd say right there. It's actually Friday. Yeah. Hey, in Australia, it's like Friday right now, or about to be.
Friday in an hour.
Asian session, I like, so New York, Asian session, I like anywhere from really 8 p.m. Eastern to like 10:30 in Asian, EST, Eastern. New York session, I like the times that you guys see me here. So like basically 8 to 11 a.m. And then London
Basically
usually
8 to 11. Old spot.
Yeah, 8 till 10, 11, 8 to 10, 11. That's basically like my chart time these days. And then London's pretty
Nighttime
good
and morning time.
from what, like 2 a.m. Until like 4 a.m. probably.
Yeah.
All Eastern. So if you're looking for volume in any of these sessions, these are going to be your best times.
Man, I would use those hours as your business hours right there.
Yep.
No need to trade on, honestly, the like outside of those times right there where the best volume's at.
Especially if you're busy and running around and doing a bunch of stuff outside of trading, no need to trade every waking minute of of your life, right? Just Asian session, you got a 2-hour window. New York session, 2-hour window. London, 2-hour window. Those are going to be like your best windows. So obviously there'll still be trades outside of that, but these are probably your key windows, session opens and all that.
Yep. And one trade is enough to get paid, right? So like you could definitely look for one trade in those 3 hours for sure. 2 hours.
Just think about it. If you only
trade.
found one trade in all of this, right? And that equaled, I don't know. I mean, on a funded account, it's so easy to make $500. Like, that's in one trade. You can probably find a good trade, somewhere through all these sessions, one good one, and you can make some money for yourself. The problem is most people make 500 in Asian, and then they go to London and lose it. And then they go to New York and they lose even more. And all of a sudden, what could have been a $500 day is a negative $500 day. So you got to try not to do that too much. I used to do that all the time. Give all my profits back. Would I take an entry on the 15-minute? There's no valid playbook setup, so anything else would be gambling, right? Yeah, unless you have like proven data on other stuff. So if you don't have proven data, basically you're gambling. You know what I mean? No matter what. So 15-minute would work, but we need this candle to reject. Remember, we want to see this candle like kind of close up celery play and then reject from there. The buys you could have taken, you know, off the 15-minute here as well if you like the buys. But yeah, if it's not a playbook setup, then you're basically gambling because you're doing something random or out of the ordinary. So you can't expect like any sort of duplicatable results there. How do you know
it's like the pattern like is playbook, but when you think about the overall story, right, of the higher time frames and the lower time frame correlation, this is where it becomes invalid with the system, right? Because we don't just focus on setups only, we focus on setups with higher time frame context, right? So when you got setups plus higher time frame context, now we're talking edge here and good probability according to TT system, right? Versus just relying solely on the pattern.
Yep.
Hopefully that makes sense.
Yep, it's not just the pattern alone.
Because it's a beautiful inverted celery on the 15-minute, but the 30-minute is bearish, the 1 hour is bearish, right? The 4 hour is at target with no top wick, right? So that's reasons for us to be bearish here. So yeah, that's where you can get caught into some unnecessary losses when you have some conflicting time frames that you enter on. It's best to enter on time frames that are aligned versus conflicting for the best probability.
Yeah. How would I give money? Yeah, I would give money back by over trading and over risking. That, and I agree with Raja where he says pretty much every trading issue comes from one of those two. You either over traded or you over risked on the trade, and then the downfall begins, right? So that was where all of my trauma happened, right? It was really trying to. My main thing was I over risked, so that was my big issue, because in life in general, I am a bit risky. You know, I'm a risk taker in life. I always have been, ever since I was a kid. I probably always will be. My daughter Alea gets this from me a little bit. She's a high risk taker. She'll do any jump, she'll do any swing, she'll do anything, right? Climb. So I like taking risk. So in the beginning, my issue was sizing up too much on trades, and it would take me out all the time. And because I lost, I wanted to get back in, right? So the loss on the over risking led to me over trading because I was trying to get my loss back, right? Or what can happen is you can start over trading, take losses, and then start over risking to it's like, all right, I took 3 losses. I need to risk 3 times the amount on this next trade to get those 3 losses back, you know? So it always kind of conspires out of one of those two things. You're either over trading, taking too many trades to where now you feel like you need to size up, right, to kind of cover ground, or you're sizing up and you're losing those trades and you're not happy with that, and now you're starting to over trade to go get that big loss back. And both of those very, very rarely end up in consistent profitability, you know? So, and the funny part is the over risking was like let's say a good trade. Like it could be a good trade, a good playbook setup, but because you risked more than you could handle, here you are now trying to go back in the game, and you know that it's likely that there's not going to be another playbook setup right away. But you know you're likely to try and get that loss back right away. So you see where the disconnect happens. Now you're going to try and force a trade, but there likely won't be a good playbook setup yet. But you'll want it back anyway, and you'll go ahead and force that and over trade. And you know how it is. You're like, all right, no onion on the 30. All right, let me go down to the 15. All right, no playbook setup on the 15. Let me go down to the 5. Nothing on the 5. Next thing you know, you catch yourself trading on like the 1 minute chart. You're looking for opportunities. You're sitting there thinking, what am I doing? But you do it anyway, you know? Or am I the only one that's done that, right? It's like you catch yourself down on these lower time frames trying to make something out of nothing. And it's really just you trying to get your loss back, because if you haven't over risked, right, or over traded, you wouldn't be down there in the first place. So that would happen to me. That was my kryptonite. You know, that was the biggest thing that held me back from seeing success quicker, was the fact that I was just over trading, over risking. Hence now I'm very picky, right? So how do I become so picky like this? It's because I had a major issue with over trading, and I looked at my results of over trading, and it did nothing but put me in drawdown. And then I looked at my results of me being patient and disciplined and picky, and I seen the results, and it was a lot of green and a little red. So I just asked myself, do I want a lot of green and a little red, or do I want all red and a bunch of, and misery and just exhaustion? Or do I want a lot of green, a little bit of red with less effort? You know what I mean? It was a no-brainer. So when we get logical and we look at what's working and what's not, we can easily see that over trading and all that stuff is taking away from our profits, not necessarily adding to it. Yeah, nice. I don't know. I was pretty silly, man. I would get into a trade and all of a sudden just put like triple the lot size for no reason at all. I would take a buy stop. Like, let's say I had a sell stop here. Let's say I was risking 10. Bro, I would put another one right here for God knows why. I have no idea why I did this, but these are the things that I would do as a new trader. I'm like, oh, I'm going to just put a double one there. Like, I still cannot explain to you why I even did that. Literally.
It's crazy. And that's why I think like it's so important to be detached from the outcome, because people do that without even knowing why, and it's because they are trying to make money.
That's
right?
exactly
like,
why. Yep.
They try to make money, so that's all they think about is making money on the trade, right? What you got to get in the habit of doing as a trader is, instead of trying to just make money, ask yourself, is this trade worth the loss, right? Because when you're trying to make money, you don't even think about the downside of the trade, right? So when you think about the risk involved, right, you always got to ask yourself before entry, is this trade worth a loss? And then you won't be thinking about making money, just making money at that point, right? You'll be thinking about, oh snap, I could also lose this trade too, right? And yeah, I think that's why it's so important to be detached from the outcome, because you'll run away from problems like that when you're detached.
Nah, for sure. Like back then, I might have been like some of you guys. Anyone today, like you don't think about the risk until you go into drawdown. So it's like before you threw 10 lots on this joint, but before the trade, never once did it cross your mind, what if I lose? What if it goes against me? Right? Because sure, everyone loves to size up when they're in profit. I mean, it's amazing, right? But you ever think about, hey, what if this trade actually goes against me? Right? And, once you start thinking about that, you're like, all right, I'm definitely risking a little bit too much.
Real, man. It's a crazy it really is a crazy cycle, that unprofitable traders go into, right? Because that happens, right? They're only thinking about money. They're not thinking about the risk that's involved. Then they get into that trade and it turns out to be a loser. Now they're emotionally hijacked and frustrated, right? Because they took a loss without even thinking about it, thinking that they could lose. They were only thinking about winning, and now they lost. So now they're extremely frustrated, and that's a high, that's an emotion right there, a negative emotion, right? Frustration. So now you're trading, you're already red, and now you're frustrated with negative emotions. What do you think is going to happen now? Emotional decision making, right? And what does that do? That's debt to the trader, right? That's the start of debt to the trader, is emotion. Logic is light to the trader. So when you got that emotion, it really becomes bad when you're trading your emotions seriously. So it's like a crazy cycle, right? An endless cycle of just kind of going through that, I feel like, when you're unprofitable.
Yeah. But, you could look back and laugh on it, if you make the adjustments and you can get out of that. We all got to go through it. It's just how many of us make it out of it, not many. So make sure you keep moving, don't stay there, right? Because if you stay there, you'll eventually quit trading. You'll either run out of capital or you'll go freaking insane, right, in your own mind. So try not to stay there too long, right? It's no issue with being there, it's staying there. That's the problem. And I see way too many traders just stay in that just unfortunate, it's like being on the fence, you know what I mean? It's like it's a spot that's not that good to stay in, right? So nothing wrong with walking through it, but man, get out on the other side of it as quick as you can.
Yeah, man. At least try to learn how to trade before you try to earn, right? Like, learn a profitable system before you're going to go out here and try to apply one,
Yeah, for sure.
That's That's the process. Good process.
Yeah, but it's also the fastest route. Like
Literally.
we talk about it like it is going to take a lot of effort, but it's the only way that you're going to get what you want out of this. So
Literally.
it's not like we're recommending it to you. We're kind of telling you, if you actually want to make this work, you got to do it. Like, you just got to put in a couple rough months, a couple hard months of grinding, which everyone's capable of in the call. Everyone here on YouTube, in the Discord, you're all very capable people to go out and do this. Like, we're not special people up here. And yeah, just listen. A couple months of grinding and your whole life can change, that's for sure.
Drastically too. And fairly quickly when it all comes together. What the hell's the matter with me? I don't know, Green. I think I was just money hungry, you know? I think I was just too focused on the money, bro. Yeah.
That's what it is, man. That's what it is, for real.
Is there a good trading journal that I recommend? Yeah, I recommend TradeSet. Yeah, that's the one that I use. That's the one we came up with. Pretty much tailored to like our system or whatever. So you go to tradeset.app and check it out. Yeah, it's clean. Probably the best journal, in my opinion, on the market, because we came up with the ideas for it. So it's kind of tailored to what we do here. Sample sizing tons pineapple, adding the entries,
Going back to those two major problems that traders have, over risking and over trading, right? When you think about what is the source of those problems, right? Like, how do those problems even come about? Like, what creates them? And it's us being focused on money, right? So again, just more and more examples of how you being focused on money actually makes you worse as a trader, right? Because it's not you that's making the money, it's your trading edge and system. So maturity in trading happens when you stop trying to make money and you just start trying to follow the system. That's when maturity will happen for you. That's when things will start to change for you, chat. And yeah, that's when things will click. So when you start applying that.
Profits. All right, let's see, man. This is probably my last shot here. Last shot of the day. Garrett? Yeah, Garrett.
Closure below.
Yeah, so you got the 30, right? You got the 30 that looks pretty good. You got the 15 that actually isn't bad. Like, if we get being that we're trying to look for this downtrend, if we get a good closure here, I might be interested in filling the wick. If not, you know, we got to close below, and yeah, then you got all that clean range. I'll probably close partials around 41.40 and then let the rest of it run. Let it run. What do I do after my trading session? Like, after I'm done trading? I mean, usually you got too much time on your hand. Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing for me, like, if you got too much time on your hand, like, the biggest thing is like closing out the session mentally, like saying, all right, I'm done, you know, because otherwise you'll be, you know, thinking about trading the whole entire day, right? Like, oh, let me go check the closure. It's 1 o'clock now. So usually, like, I'll just kind of sit here real quick, review in my mind what happened. If I took the trade, I'm going to journal it up. If I didn't take the trade, I'll just kind of look, hey, did I follow the plan, or did I miss anything? And that's pretty much it, right? And then it might, every day for me is a little different. I might have an elite call. I might be spending time with my family. I might be golfing. I might have other business work that I'm doing. I might be creating content. I might be just, you know, out running errands. So yeah, I mean, every day's usually my morning always starts the same, and then after like 11, 12 in the afternoon, it can go either way on any day. Yeah, but one thing I do is I disassociate from the markets. I'll tell you that. I'm not here to be a slave to the market, right? I don't want my whole identity attached to what happened today in the market. So if I lose trades, I'm not some grouchy dude, right? Get away from me, blah, 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 blah. Or if I win trades, I'm not this, you know, up jolly old guy, you know what I mean? Where, oh, you're in a good mood today, Nick. You know, it's like, I just keep it a buck, you know? I don't want that to create my whole identity. So yeah, after the session, I mean, it's pretty chill. Just review your session, journal your trade. If there's a lesson or two to take away, take it, and then close your charts and go live your life. Time to live, baby. Time to live. All right, 5 minutes on the clock here. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What do you guys do after the sessions? What do you guys usually, like, when I leave you guys here, unless I have an elite call or something, which isn't really most of the days, you know, but if I don't have like a call, or if I'm not doing any like work here at the desk, I'm gone. I don't look at the charts again until Asian sesh when I do the breakdown. I don't really like to look at the charts too early too, and you know, like before I do the breakdown, because I want everything to be fresh. Go to work, go fishing, go to sleep. I'm at work, so I just stay working. Nice. Take care of my daughter. Yeah. Now the thing is, are you doing that, but also like trying to find another trade? Because again, it's not the end of the world, but if you're obsessed over the markets and you're not leaving, like let's say we leave each other right now. All right. So now I know, okay, let's say this candle closed in the range. So now I know, okay, I'm probably not taking another trade for at least 15, 20 minutes, and I'll just go, you know, do whatever needs to be done, go say hi to the kids. Like, you don't have to always be watching. You know, I think it's a good idea to watch during your session, but if you're going to get off your session but still be open for trades, just kind of have your markups there and revisit every time, like, candles are coming up to a close. And I can get away with a little bit more today because I've got more experience, more maturity in the markets. But man, like back when I was over trading and over risking, that was what I was doing. I was basically staying at the desk. I was going back to it. I was leaving. I was coming back. I just couldn't stay away. So over time, I learned to kind of stay away a bit and, you know, just trade the sessions.
That's why I said, like, you should structure those trading hours as business hours, so you're not all over the place with trading, you know, all day, every day. It's like, yo, after this hour, I'm done, right? And I think that's how it should be. We say treat trading like a business. Well, businesses have business hours, right? So no different with the timing here.
Yeah, my one boy Anthony said this a while back, and I was still kind of learning how to trade, so I didn't quite understand him at the moment, but now I get it. But he would say, dude, I trade to live. I don't live to trade. So he was talking about I trade to make my money and then go enjoy my life and create my lifestyle. I don't, you know, want to have my whole lifestyle around trading. So yeah, if you can kind of see it that way, you trade to live, you don't live to trade. It'll work better for you, you know, because now you'll get your bag and go. Because all we're really looking for is our bag here today, right? And then we can kind of get going, right? There's really no need to stick around after you secure the bag and the bag fills up. So if you could just get your money and go, I mean, that's all is really required. So trade to live, don't necessarily live to trade. Same thing with your diet, by the way. Eat to live, dude. Don't live to eat. What up?
Love that. Some people about to eat off based off feelings. Gareth, bro, if we were eating based off feelings, we'd be having brownies right now.
Yeah, facts. Facts.
But we don't want to become super fat, so we'll eat steak and ground beef instead.
I can't lie to you. Yesterday I was eating off feelings, bro. Those brownies were good.
Usually brownies are all feelings.
Well, it was your dad's birthday, so that's fine.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, no, brownies are amazing, bro.
All right, we got a closure coming up in
get this,
40 seconds. Let's see NQ here too. Yeah, you might get a 1 hour resistance, 30 resistance. Okay, we'll see what happens. We got a couple seconds on some closures. My kids are like, Dad, are you done yet? Can we hang out? Can we play? Can we
it's
play?
11.
So
it's 11.
Let's see what we can do here, and if nothing here, then I'm going to get rolling.
Yeah, it's like you got that celery, but no closure below on the 15.
Or brownies.
That level there on the 30 minute. Yeah, Jason, what else do you think we're talking about? What up, Jason, my man?
All right, yeah, this is not bad at all. So let's see, maybe if we get the top wick that we want here, there could be some opportunities. We close below on the 15 as well, 30 resistance. So yeah, top wick and looks pretty good. And then Goldie, I mean, gold's all right, you know, but you got this range now. So if that range wasn't there, I'd say the 30 celery looks golden. But, you know, this one might not work because you got a 15-minute support here. So I think gold needs a closure outside the range. Closure outside.
You got that 15-minute support.
Yeah.
You got the 15 support, and then you also got that level there on the 30-minute too, right? They kind of match.
Oh, yeah, over
so
here.
I think it makes sense. Yeah. So I think it just makes sense, right? So wait.
51. Yep, that's what, yeah, that was that observation idea.
Yeah. But really great session here, man.
Yeah, solid.
We did our job, right? We can say it's a W session today, chat, because we followed our rules 100% today, without any hesitation whatsoever. So big W.
Yep, we let moves go, which are not easy at times, to let those moves go and, you know, to stay out of the market, right? I mean, there was a couple ideas that we wanted. There was no top wick on one of them, this one here. So not easy to do that, right? We're going to take sells down here earlier. We stayed out. Good thing we did, right? On that 1 hour break of the low, stayed out, wanted a 15 closure. So that was pretty much it. You know, the only opportunities was this one here, which we were ready for sell stops after making that top wick, but that's your top wick. And then the only other option that we really had was this, right, which was to go down here, but wanted to see a better top wick. So yeah, I think we played the game pretty smart today. If you guys took trades, congratulations on anything that you took. I'm still open for trades. It's just got to break out ideally to the downside here too. So I'll be looking for sells below 54. I do have an elite call too that I'm going to jump on, so I might still be interested here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys can like this stream on the way out here today, if you learned something, W. Let's wait for the range to break out. I'll keep in touch with you guys in the Discord if I'm seeing anything that looks like perfecto. And yeah, don't over risk, don't over trade. Great session today, and we'll be back at it tomorrow for Friday. Yeah, Friday. All right. I'll see you guys then. Johnny Gems, Garrett, I'll see you boys later.
Peace.
Have a wonderful
Peace,
day.
boys.
Do we dance on out of here today or
chat.
what? Hey. All right, chat. Love you guys. Have a great day. Enjoy it. And I'll see you guys on the next session. See you tomorrow. Peace.
Peace, God.
Sing it, Johnny Gems. Sing it.
Stay close. trees can't rise. You feel helpless and you're looking to the sky. Some people would say to accept defeat. Well, if this is fate, then we'll find a way to cheat. 'Cause we'll say a little prayer. But if the answer isn't fair, you know you can call on me when you need somebody. You know you can call on me when you can't stop the tears from falling down. You know you can call on me, darling. You can call on me when you can't stop the tears from falling down. When you're weary and the road is dark, and I'll guide you with the beating of my heart. And if the Calvary and the help don't come, well then we'll find a way to dodge a smoking gun. 'Cause we'll say a little prayer. But if the answer isn't fair, then call on me. Call on me when you need somebody. You know you can call on me when you can't stop the tears from falling down. You know you can call on me, darling. You can call on me when you can't stop the tears from falling down. Somebody to cling to. When you need someone, you need somebody to dry your tears. When you need someone, you need somebody to cling to. Just call on me, love, on me. Just call on me. Call on me. Just call on me.
Saw you. Don't pretend I got a reason to call you. It's not true. I only got a couple people to talk to, and it's not you. Yeah. And I don't even got the patience to argue. So are you out of your mind? I got a lot of reasons to fight. I got a lot of reasons to drive over you, but I put my pride to the side. I put my never stop. Had to take a turn and turn it into something that's new. Say you miss me, wasn't missing is a cock and a you. Wait and see, 'cause it's something new and improved. Yeah, yeah. He checking these chickens. Yeah, and I go speed racing for the record. Yeah, and I achieve greatness, getting better by the second. Yeah, and I go speed racing. We ain't finished just yet. Don't stress it, baby. I keep creeping. I speed demon. She keep dreaming. I can't see him. A speed demon. Yeah, they try to say I'm out of my mind, but now they're singing every line. Got a lot of mountains to climb. Had to leave some baggage behind. And there's something that's stronger than me, that's paving me a new lane and giving me an energy. And there's something in the way she made me certain I'm enough every day. She put the loving on me. And all the people that be doubting on me, they gave me witness my redemption. Now they up on my seat, got them tapping their feet. Had to put my heart on my sleeve. Yeah, he's checking these chickens. speed racing for the record. Yeah, and I achieve greatness, getting better by the second. Yeah, and I go speed racing, we ain't finished just yet. Don't stress, baby. I keep creeping, a speed demon, she keep dreaming, I can't see him. A speed demon, I keep creeping, a speed demon, she keep dreaming, I can't see him. A speed demon,
A2000 EST OCOEE. Yeah, hey, I need peace, I need love, I need everything that's coming from above. I need peace, I need love, I need everything that's coming from above. I want my dog, ay, birds of a feather, we gon' fly together. Ay, we gon' rock forever like it's heavy metal. I ain't Christopher Columbus, I would never settle. I ain't Lewis, I ain't Clark, I would never settle. God told me I'm Olympic, for real. Ay, seek the kingdom, why you simping, for real? Why you talking, you should listen, for real. All this jaywalking got me limping, for real. Hey, jaywalking, hey, Jesus walking, hey, Jesus talking. Yo, big faith, yeah, I need a whole lot of that way, where I'm about to go like amigo. Can't see the vision, then you can't be me amigos. I call up my girl and then we pull up to the Rego. That's the only time we pay to see you acting way different. Same book, but the pay's different. Is it cliche to say I'm lane switching? Well, I'm lane switching. Hold on, let me put my turning signal on, so they see me coming, they still can't see me coming. Only two things that I need is peace, I need love, I need everything that's coming from above. I need peace, I need love, I need everything that's coming from up. They like, how he, who he, what is this? Hey, my studio is wherever I sit. Hey, I plug in the microphone and there you hear that click. It's a hit. Hey, way it hit them like, whoa, man. Hey, make them do the uh-oh, man. Hey, how you just came up with whoa, man? Flow electric, this is not a slow dance. Not a slow dance. We come together and we pray and hold hands. He give grace, so wherever grace lands. He paid the price, ain't have no escape plan. Yeah, no plan. Yeah, no plan. Actually, his plan was the plan, so he planned it. Ayy, set the bar high, he the code, so I scanned it. Ayy, we saving souls on the campus. Ayy, but this ain't no religion, we ain't following your antics. Ayy, thank you, Lord, I sit like a praying mantis. Enemy just tryna see me sink Titanic. Never out, but I'm outlanded. Even when I'm out, soon as I land. Back to the beach, back to the sand. Is back to the. Only two things that I need is peace, I need love, I need everything that's coming from above. I need peace, I need love, I need everything that's coming from above.